Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Good morning, my couch potatoes. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well today. Oh, goodness, it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. I feel like I lived a whole week yesterday, but I'm here. We're all here. And I just realized our silly little names are still doing this weird @ handle thing. That's fun. I love that for us. Good morning, Lady in Gray, by the way. Well, that's so weird because, yes, last night I hopped over into alternate jurors chat to say hello to all of them over there since one of their mods was so nice to be here yesterday. And their names over there were not doing that. So why is it our channel that's like that? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyway. We'll sort it out. It's just probably just YouTube being YouTube. YouTube is, love it, but it's something. It is something. I don't know why it's always trying to fix things that aren't broken, that nobody asked for, but here we are. Good morning, Lady in Gray. Again, good morning. Good morning, Michael Green Chili Chicken. Glad to see you here so early. Oh my goodness. Angie of Oz. By the way, I forgot to tell you, Angie, I do love that new name for you. I hope you keep it. Even if it goes back to the way it was, I think you should stick with that. I like that one a lot. Good morning, Teresia. Good morning. Were you around yesterday? I don't remember if I saw you yesterday. Not that I'm stalking you or anything like that. But good morning nonetheless. Raindrops and feathers. Girl, how you doing? Good morning to you. Oh, Cabs, you must be excited. Oh, I wish I had that sort of energy today. I do not. Not all channels have it yet. Oh, so, okay. And some had it reverted back. Well, I love that. Let me tell you what. I love that. Well, you guys, oh, look at this. Raindrops and Feathers says she is doing fab. Done this term of college for the time being, working hard. Good for you, babe. Good for you. I know you were like writing a paper. I saw you talk about it in the Discord the other day, but I'm good. I hope you have a nice little break. Love that. Does that mean you get to hang out with us more? Because I hope so. So today, you guys, we're doing day 3 of the Stephen Lawson trial, and it's a short day for them in court. It's a whole 3 hours. The state wraps up its case on this day, apparently, and then the defense will be like, we don't have any witnesses here already. So it's going to be a short one. I don't remember who all the witnesses are for the prosecution. I know the last one is the guy who will play like jail phone calls that Steve has with his mom. And apparently there's a lot of cursey words. I just don't remember who the other 2 people are for that. But before we do that, I have some news in case you missed yesterday. So 1, this trial wraps up tomorrow. That's it. We're done. Tomorrow, we're done with Stephen Lawson. We've done Brooks and Joseph. We've wrapped that up. I did the multi-part deep dive into Krista Rogers, and that's it, you guys. That's all the information we have for that for the time being. Can you believe that we spent all month deep diving into this, watching 2 trials, and we're almost over with it, and I still feel very dissatisfied. Very dissatisfied with the conclusion of a lot of these events. But that's what happens. Now, what is going to be next? Well, first, let's do Thursday. So Thursday, if you guys are a member of our channel, if not, please click the join button. You can pick which tier best suits you. We had a big meeting last night, and we're going to be planning all sorts of stuff for our members here in the next couple of weeks and a month. But Thursday, I'm going to be live recording for a pre-recorded show that's coming out in December. It's a a narrative storytelling piece I'm doing about a case that I've known about for many years. That's a big pet case of mine. I don't want to spoil what it's about, but I'm going to be recording the episodes with members only so they could hear the story ahead of time. And the series will release December and January. And it's called The Devil in the Bay. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give for everybody right now. But I'm really excited about it. So you guys can all hang out with me and keep me company while I restart sentences over and over again. And probably burp a little bit because that happens when I pre-record stuff for some reason. But so if you're a member, be sure to join us Thursday. I think I'm doing that at 10 a.m. Eastern. I don't know how long it'll be. Maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours. I don't know. We'll see. We'll all be there together. You guys will be my little support couch potatoes. There we go. Watching Llama record is like watching the burp cam. It is, and I don't know why. I don't know why that happens with that specifically, but here we are. So that's Thursday during the day. Thursday at night, 8 p.m. Eastern, the lovely Miss Cabin will be joining me as a guest co-host for True Crime and Wine Time, where we're covering the Athens murders, Athens, Georgia, just to specify there. And I read up on it last night, and wow, what a turn. Some turns are made, and it is very, very interesting. So if you're not familiar with that, join us Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with me and Cap'n, and then Terry will be back next week. So if you've missed the lovely Terry True Crime, as we all have, yesterday was like my first time really getting to talk with her since she's had to be on leave, but she's doing great, and that was a lot of fun. And then, so what's our next trial going to be? Everybody asked. Nobody's asked, but I'm just going to assume everybody's thinking it. So the next trial I want to cover is Florida versus Donna Adelson. Now, when this is going to start, it's a little tricky. Who knows? Oh, on top X, good morning. And thank you for the super sticker. Hope you're doing well. Missed you yesterday. I think, again, it feels like a week from me being here yesterday. I don't know why, but thank you so much. Glad to see you here. As I was saying, so Donna Adelson, jury selection starts Tuesday, but they've scheduled like 3 days. I don't know how they're doing it. If you don't know who the Adelsons are, don't worry though, because I am going to do a brief catch up, because this is the mom of the family, and this is not the first trial regarding this conspiracy murder. Yep, that's right. Another conspiracy murder. Love those. But prosecution is slated to begin their case in chief on August 25th. So next week, we're kind of going to have an off week of couch court. Definitely set your notifications, because they did say, like, let's say they pick a jury on the 20th, they will be doing opening statements before then. So turn those notifications on if you're interested in the Florida Donald Adelson case. It's live. We haven't done one of those for a while. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's only going to be like 2 weeks, surprisingly. So it won't be too terribly long. Now, what else? Oh, next Friday, did you guys know we hit 2,000 subscribers? We did. So next Friday, me and Terry are going to do a 2K celebration stream for you all. So it'll just be fun, something fun, hanging out for all of our subscribers who we are so freaking thankful for. It's been a wild ride. I love everyone that we're meeting. It's a really weird, bizarre experience. But yeah, so next Friday, come join us for a party. I'm not eating anything weird. All right. I'm not Terry. So that's not happening. That is not happening. Yay. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. We're so excited about it. Well, you guys, with that, let's get started in court. How does that sound? Everybody hit the like button? Everybody? You in the back? Did you hit the like button? Let people know that we're going live. And this is where the party was at. Oh, on top X was here in and out yesterday. Tooth is better. I got poison ivy now and how to fix it. Goodness, sir. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you got that AC fixed, because it is It is hot outside, and I'm glad you're feeling better. So, yes, it'll be a fun little party. I'm excited about it. Okay, kiddos. Well, let's here we go. Like I said, we're only going to be here for a couple hours today, but it's going to be the best, I'm sure. Let's see. Oh, and we can't use the really nice video from Wave 3 because for some reason they didn't upload half of the 3 hours for today, because I don't know why it's that hard, but they have a difficult time. So instead, we get to watch jumbly, blurry WHAS 11. And I apologize for that. I prefer the other one because it's clearer, but they don't even have half of it. I just don't even understand. But here we are.
See the thank you. We'll have one here in a second. New briefcase.
Okay.
We have counsel real quick, please, before we bring the jury in.
Oh, I thought I turned on closed captions. There we go. Oh. Come on. Oh, you know what? Before I get into this, actually, I was going to tell all you guys, well, it doesn't matter. So I don't know if anybody's been watching Dexter Resurrections. I'm just going to pause this show because I have to tell everybody about this. I started a new one, Dexter Resurrection. So if you're a Dexter fan, okay, they're only on episode 6. It's amazing. I love it. I'm obsessed. It has been such a long time since we've had this Dexter. It's fantastic. But when it wraps up in September, I think it's the first weekend of September. I don't remember where I put that on my calendar, but I am going to stream the whole season once it all comes out in our Discord server, the Courtyard. So if you love Dexter and you love watching stuff with a bunch of people, you have a lot of commentary, make sure you join our Discord server, the Courtyard, because I am going to stream the whole thing in a few weeks. And it's so amazing. It's so amazing. I love it. So make sure you do that. Misbehaving in Florida, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Oh, you like it? Have you watched it? Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. Good morning, Flash fan. Good morning. Sorry I didn't get to stay very long. I had a very long meeting last night. But I enjoyed it. You guys seem lovely over there. Alternate Juror, as I said yesterday. If you guys don't know Alternate Juror, go over, give her a like. They're covering the Betty Broderick trial. And you guys, it's from the early 90s. So if you weren't born then and you want to see what life was like, go watch Alternate Juror as she's watching the Betty Broderick, because it is a time capsule. It is majestic. Oh, and yesterday who was the testimony you guys were watching yesterday over there? Dr. Park Dietz. I forget anyway, you guys, if you've been in true crime for a while, you'll know who that guy is. I forget which trials. I think he did Menendez and he did some other ones. But if you've been around the trial block, you will know this guy's face because he has these like pointy-ish eyebrows. And he looks like a serial killer. Yeah. Anyway, so that's who they're watching the testimony over there right now. Yeah. It was something. Yes, Dexter. We stream all sorts of TV shows over there. We love TV, even if it's not true crime. We do true crime stuff too, but we're also a bunch of nerds who love other things. Yes, Michael, join. And if you guys don't know how to use Discord, that's okay. It's okay. Just get in there. Be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. Everyone over there is friendly. You're a noob. That's okay. Because once you get it, you get it. We were all there once. It's totally fine. But that's where we hang out all of the time. You never watched it before? Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, hello, wave back. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while, Misbehaving in Florida. Yes, that psychiatrist has done a lot. I was sitting there and I was like, I know that face. Why do I know that face? But yes, anyway, sorry. We'll get back to the trial. I can sit and talk about TV and movies and shows because that's really my big my big thing. But I just had to tell everyone to please go watch Dexter Resurrections. If you don't have it, we will be streaming it. And you might be like, Llama, okay, I watched Dexter. I watched Dexter New Blood, which was hot garbage. Yes, it is. But this, they have brought it back. They're doing great. They also had put out Dexter Original Sin earlier this winter, I think it was, which is like Dexter, Young Dexter. Also knocked it out of the park with that one. That one was very good too. So it seems like that show, they got some good writers, they got some good ideas, and it's making a comeback. So I can't say enough about it. Oh, she's almost done with the Broderick case, the Alaska case, with the serial killer, that Alaska case. Forget what his name is. Richard something. Is he the one that hunted? That guy hunted people. Forget what his name is. Yeah, I know it has been a minute. I love that you're here. Okay, let's get back to trial. Enough talking shows, Llama. Get it together. And let me move this. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's not how I do things. There we go.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I want to fill everybody in on where we are on Mr. Gent. They were able to apprehend Mr. Gent this morning. He is en route to come down here. I've told them to bring him in the back way, just like everybody else trying.
They had to apprehend somebody to bring them in, Mr. Gent.
Just about everybody knowing about that. So that's the latest on that. So he will be here.
Very good.
What about, I know you're going to work on instructions. Has anybody prepared any for me they'd like me to look at? Because this is an interesting little issue.
You heard that?
Yes.
It's
These
very
are
low.
very rough, but in the sense that I don't have everything forms but I do have a copy that I've worked on.
Nope, turning that off. That's
And I actually didn't know what was listed as count 1 and count 2 when I was doing these last night.
I will miss us not being able to hear sidebars.
A lot of guidance on the conspiracies. Oh yeah, when you read the form book too, it says generally and normally, and I thought, well, this is generally not the normal case.
Oh, okay. I think I might be familiar with
It just doesn't
that.
fit right with what we're doing here. So do you all have anything to kid?
We don't. At this point, we would like to just see what the Commonwealth proposes
Okay.
and work off of that because it's.
Well,
Give it a
I think
watch.
I think there may
Yeah,
be
we
a copy
get it.
back
Yeah,
here.
we get it, of course.
Also, shout out to Miss Shorty and her. She watches a
We'll
lot
get that.
on replay because she lives halfway around the world.
Before we bring in the jury, I just want to let you all know about Mr. Gent, 'cause that's
Also
the-
another great
that's
channel.
since we solved the
Go
problem.
subscribe to Miss Shorty.
Eh,
There are a lot of
I
fun
don't
over
know if we
there.
should take it up at the bench, but why don't we, since we're all here, we're going to file a motion. We're making it now a oral motion for a mistrial, and it's based on the events of yesterday related to the witness that came in on the witness stand and stated
Yes.
that while she was under oath, she had a discussion with another witness in the bathroom, and she discussed her test. It sounded to us like she discussed her testimony with that particular witness.
I
And we
agree.
believe that the ability to receive a fair trial requires that witnesses not speak to other witnesses, especially when under oath. And that witness indicated on cross-examination by me, and quite frankly, Your Honor, I just stumbled on that. I don't think that was going to be forthcoming, except for me just happened to fall into it.
That's true.
So we believe that under the rule, that we can make a motion for a mistrial at this point in time and ask the jury to be dismissed, and we come back at a later date, get a new jury, and go from there. Because this court is fully aware the jury heard everything that transpired, and quite frankly, Judge, there was no way for me to address that without it being in front of the jury. There just wasn't, because I didn't know beforehand. I didn't know that it was gonna. I didn't know what a response was going to be. So.
Judge, first of all, this Sally wasn't subject to recall, so she was dismissed as a witness. Secondly, there was nothing discussed about testimony. I think the testimony given by Ms. Chester was that Ms. Ballard said thank you, and she was Ms. Chester said something to the effect of, I hope this brings you peace, something along that lines. I don't know the exact words.
They filmed that South African guy that was recently. I don't remember.
Well, I think definitely the conversation should have never occurred. I think we can all agree on
Yeah,
that.
Judge.
But I don't think there was anything that I have heard that is related to the actual testimony. It was thank you and I hope this brings you peace. There wasn't anything about, well, you should say this or you should say that, or this has been said. Again, it's inappropriate, but I don't believe it rises to the level of the necessity of declaring a mistrial. So I'll show that.
Okay, but that's also like the victim's mom, though.
And show that it's denied this time. Anything else?
I think so.
Well, Judge, we just want to
Respectfully disagree, Judge.
to submit jury instructions. I know we're not quite there.
Right.
So if we could possibly have until this evening to bear those to the
Well,
board.
I guess a lot depends on whether you're calling anybody. So I don't know whether I'm going to need those instructions this afternoon or tomorrow. So
Right.
this will
Right.
figure it out.
I just want to make sure that we're reserving our right to take our.
I sure would like so.
Thank you.
We can go. Do we have 15? So come on in.
Who do we got today? So if you didn't watch yesterday, there was a witness who came on. She's Joey Lawson's baby mama. And while on break, she was in the bathroom with Sherry Ballard, also who testified, Crystal Rogers' mom. And they had a little conversation in the bathroom where Sherry thanked her for testifying today. And she said, "You're welcome. I hope that it brings you peace, though I doubt it will." That's what was said. Apparently, that was all that was said. But she did that while she was still on the stand and they were just on a break, which is a big no. I'm pretty sure lawyers can't even talk to their witnesses when they are on the stand, even during breaks. But certainly a surprise.
At this time, let the record reflect all 15 jurors have returned to the courtroom. Everyone may be seated. Counsel waive the call.
Yes, Mike Schaefer.
Mike Schaefer.
I'm sorry.
I heard her.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard Karen Reed wants the sidebars from her trial release. And if so, we're going to read those together. Oh, yeah, maybe we might do some Karen Reed.
Come up right here in front of me and raise your right hand. That's good, right?
Hold on. Maybe if you guys are interested, let me know. So sorry, I don't mean to keep pausing it. I usually don't like to do that because I know that sometimes people don't like that. But I just remembered somebody told me last night that the head district attorney, Morrissey in Massachusetts. So apparently they got his own personal emails, like 4,000 of them. And if you guys are interested, we could probably maybe read some of them a little bit next week, maybe one day while we're waiting for Donna Adelson to start. So I'm so sorry. The tip of my nose, it's so itchy. It's annoying. But if you guys are interested in maybe reading those emails, let me know in the chat. Or if you're on Replay Crew, let me know in the comments. And maybe we can read some of those Morrissey emails because I love doing that. And I haven't read them yet. So just let me know if you guys are interested in that. Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. If you have a seat right over there, try to sit as close to the microphone as you can, and please answer all questions asked of you.
Mr. Schaefer, would you tell the ladies and gentlemen here what your name is and what you're currently doing and your work at this time?
Sure. My name is Michael Schaefer, S-H-A-F-E-R, and I'm employed as a detective for the Kentucky Office of Attorney General and also assigned as a part-time FBI task force officer.
All right. How long have you been in law enforcement?
I've been 36 years.
All right. And tell the ladies and gentlemen, Jerry, what the organizations you were employed with while you were in law enforcement.
We got
Sure.
Colonel
As I mentioned, with
Sanders.
the Office of Attorney General. Prior to that, I was an FBI special agent for 25 years. Prior to that, I was a Nebraska state trooper for 7 years, and I was a police officer in Lincoln, Nebraska for a year prior to that.
All right. You're still working in law enforcement as we speak today?
That's correct.
I want to take you back a little ways to August 6th, 2020.
He's a lie detector guy, I think.
Sure.
Were you involved in assisting other law enforcement personnel, including the FBI, in investigating the disappearance of Crystal Rogers?
I was.
And did that include interviewing Steve Lawson?
It did.
And was that on August 6th of 2020?
Yes, it was.
All right. And did you record your interview?
It was recorded.
All right. And you and I spoken a couple times in preparing for this trial today, hadn't we?
That's correct.
And I asked you to review some portions of that interview. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And a couple things. One, so that they understand, before you got into questioning him, did you talk with him, whether he was under arrest or any of that at that point?
I did.
All right. What'd you tell him?
We actually met him, located him at a private residence, and asked him if he would be willing to come to the Nelson County Sheriff's Office to be interviewed, and he agreed. He drove there himself, and I made it clear to him, told him specifically he was not under arrest and he was free to leave at any time he chose to do so.
All right. And you comply with that throughout the 3 or 4 hours you were interviewing him? Did you comply with that?
I did. In fact, he left on his own.
Okay. Now, a couple things. The jury's heard about this, and you've worked on it. There was a phone call at around 12:07 a.m. on July the 4th of 2015. Was that an important issue you wanted to talk with him about and did talk to him about?
It was, and I did.
All right. And we're going to hear part of what he told you about that phone call. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, what the grand jury has heard, and he explained
Thank you, Angie, for posting that
he
tidbit.
made the phone call to tell Brooks the job is done or something along those lines. Okay? I don't want you to respond to it. You got a different answer at that point.
Wow.
Yes.
We're going to hear that. Now, you also talked with him about a phone call that was made by Brooks Powell in the afternoon hours of July 8th of 2015.
Yes,
And you talked with him about that, didn't you?
I did.
All right. And the grand jury's heard some information from him from testimony he made on September 20th of 23, in which he said that was a setup. That was a play that he and Brooks Howe agreed to put together to deal with that question when Brooks met with the police.
Judge, I'm going to object. He's not asking questions. He's doing
Please ask a question.
And you can provide this jury with what he told you at that time.
I can.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you also have information that showed travel whereabouts that he made starting in the evening of January 4th of 2015 to the rest of that day?
I do. I think it was August. I'm sorry, July.
It was
Yeah.
July July. Wait a minute, I've got myself. It was July
July of
the
2015.
4th of 2015.
Correct. July 3rd into July 4th.
All right, and you talked to me about
Nice.
that.
Yes,
All right, and reviewed that information.
I did.
Did that include location evidence that
Hello,
you had
little
acquired
puppy.
in preparation for your interview?
It did.
Okay, all right. So, and we'll be hearing information on that as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, we have a clip, Judge. It's about 20 minutes in length of these, and you've listened to those. They truly and accurately reflect the conversations that you had with Steve Lawson on your August 6th of 2020.
They do.
May that be admitted, and then can we play those for the jury?
Any objection?
Ooh.
No objection.
What video are we getting?
All right. 32.
33.
Ugh.
32.
Will not miss this. They're so fun.
The jury has earphones. If you have trouble hearing, I don't think you will. Proximity, you and I are, but if there is, you raise your hand.
Very good. Thank you.
Ugh, I know, I hate it. Let me move. Oh, can't even hear it.
Went through basically here, part of what he talked, and you went through basically what that was. Let me kind of walk through the best right now.
Still don't know how to do anything.
I've done the job that day. I got home. I got had two stepdaughters. Morning and that child, she was married a white dude named Ronnie. She was by a record child.
Hell married.
She did you know anybody? I don't know how he got much time to eat that one. Oh, well, good luck with that, because I know. And I said, let me call Brooks. So I called Brooks, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I've been drinking myself. And I bet it says it in there that I've been drinking. That's pretty country, right? Well, I should. And that went on. I called him, and I told him, of course, I had the job done that he asked me to do. And I did. I graded till I got hard. Then I don't recall if I asked him about the house. But yes, I did. Because he said, I think Crystal was running the house part, wasn't she? I do believe she was. And he said, well, I can get with my wife and she can yell. And that's pretty much how that conversation went. Then I told my daughter, I said, well, hopefully he'll call you back tomorrow. The next day, whether he did or not, I don't know. When your daughter went to the dog? I never started on the phone. So the original call for trying to get you something. Trying to get the reason for calling you. That's it. The other thing about the house, and then I'm just telling you, the job's done. You know, you can pay me now.
Aww.
You don't have to do it now, but tomorrow would be nice. You know, we all want to get paid for one. Well, yeah, and you put decent bills and stuff. Is that what the box camera was? Yes. Yes. When did you find the date for the box camera? Yeah. Get some of that, yeah. What? Hell, after all that bullshit that went on, I was like, I know, no. Well, let's switch over now to the weekend of July 1st. And I know they had several times you at the last 4th weekend, we'll start with the Saturday. Did you work today, Saturday? And how about you said home grateful? What's your best recollection of the time you did it? Well, being my home was just right down the road. I mean, it wasn't that far at that point in time. 10:30. Yeah, give or take. Yeah, you get home at 11. Oh, hell no. Get home at 3. I'm still alive, ain't I? Understood. All right, so 7:30-ish, you're home. What are you drinking? Sure. And I know they asked you there, who else would have been there with you that night? I think one was there for a while. I'm pretty much sure she was there. Because she's the one that asked me to call. Because I told her, I said, I know this man got noodles or rental property. I said, surely God, he put you in one. And that's why I called him. And I hope he does that I do a good job. I mean, I did. I'm not a,
I mean, that'll do it.
So you're home then, and drinking, hanging out, we all hang out together. You attended one. The Lord, she was shut down. You about when she showed up? She would always just pop in. I'll be there.
whenever she decides.
What's your best recollection? She's not sure about that.
I don't know what might have been 9:30, maybe. It was done getting dark. It was already dark. It's got to be at least 9 o'clock now.
And she came over and was hanging out basically.
Yeah, and what you been doing? Well, I've been doing stuff with Brooke, the female. I said, but I can let them all go around. I can do that much. I'm doing a little work for you. Got him to help you out.
I can't understand anything these people say most of the time.
That's what prompted you to
Come back, call, bro. Exactly.
and you called him.
They are little ankle biters.
I got the records over here.
Be safe.
And called him up and told us what you talked about with him on the arm on the day podcast and he was the one for perhaps
Exactly.
pretty much it. And what did he say about the house?
He said, pretty much what I told you under.
You got talked to
Chris,
That's it.
that's her life.
All right. Well, remember what he said about getting paid? Did you ever know her or anybody she was living? You haven't from her? Or you know?
I said, I didn't really answer.
So she got evicted from the house.
Mm-mm.
It made me question what took out of the house.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, exactly. Tell me what she asked me to do, that's what I did.
And
Maybe she thought I had some pull. Hell, I ain't got no pull with that man.
did so what did you tell Laura about something? What did you tell her?
Crystal. That's what you got all right. Yeah. I mean, what else do you got?
Did you ever ask for a phone number for Crystal? Or did you already have one?
No, I don't think
Did Laura before you get older?
no. Evidently, she must have, if she done been a victim from my house, that she got to have a number somewhere.
Well, when you said that now, but at the time you said you didn't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I didn't know it, but evidently she couldn't get a hold of them, but I, personally, I couldn't.
But that case,
Well, I'd be back with it. Well, I don't know.
things all asking. As we're sitting here now, thinking of that night,
Nope.
do you know if Lauren had really did the whole thing?
No. Surely not.
So Brooklyn said, "Get off Crystal."
Well, yeah, I mean, he knew I was going to see him again, or I thought I was, and then all hell broke loose evidently. I got it. That's right. What's the word I'm looking for here? You don't want me to call the problem and stay away from it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's just the way it is.
I go back and think back that night. I don't remember.
I'll get back to drinking.
Okay. So you don't remember anything?
Like I said, all I did was put through my body.
Did you ever leave?
Lucky I come up here and walked there, opened up a beer. I told you that.
I know, and I appreciate it. Unfortunately, it didn't open. So you say you don't remember what we did, but you remember specifically how to leave.
Well,
You sure of that?
well, yeah, I'm real sure that if you lay up for 19 months, it sort of does get your attention.
Tammy wasn't touching Lauren didn't touch you were not solid standing.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna drink. I ain't even know it. I'm even drunk. And I'm gonna get the hell on. And that's the way it was back then. And I hope God she forgives me for that. I mean, I hope she does. Because I was an ass.
We've all had our moments. So rock solid 100%. Never mind.
But did I ever know that?
Well, not even.
So basically, he's saying, I don't remember anything. I was drunk, is what I'm kind of hearing.
But anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't remember anybody else coming over that night. Do you remember? You may have not. Do you remember making any other calls that night? This is an overlay. It shows you
Okay. 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 Well, I don't know exactly what you said it is, I believe. That's what he said. So,
You see various times that you made calls.
okay.
Sometimes 11:06 and 54 seconds. 3.
It's true, but Chloe's a good girl. Rest in peace, Chloe.
Okay. What's that?
Why you look at 12:07?
I don't know, you said 1207, you think?
12:07.
Okay, good enough.
Okay.
Well, good enough.
We'll start. 15:21. This show here activity.
Okay, well, yeah, 22 here. Please. I'm trying, I'm not a smart person, I'm trying.
12:07.
Okay. Okay.
Do they though? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I love both.
Well, yeah, this, I was listening. I was listening. I don't know. I don't, that's the problem, I don't know if that's the worst. You're saying March 14th, right? You're saying March 14th.
So we got you at this time. Driving to the location.
Okay.
12:25.
I'm not saying that this is not that. I'm telling you that I don't recall. Well, that's all I can
This is
say.
very annoying because we can only hear half of it.
Well, I'm telling you what I think it's telling you. You're trying to say maybe I heard this right.
I didn't think. In fact, I don't think that.
Well, I hope you're right.
Don't let me straight up.
No, I want you to. But go ahead. Anyway,
I don't think I heard.
no, sir. Never been heard. I do what? No, sir, I've never done the such. I don't give a shit what you say.
Time for bacon and eggs. You're cooking? Oh, look at you being so productive today, Lady in Gray.
Well, yeah, because do you realize what these people have done for me in my life? You don't think I don't want these people down to hurt this way?
What did you say before? When I asked you, why would somebody not? First thing you said.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not here because I didn't bother.
I didn't think.
Okay, and I didn't really bother going.
Shut up.
Okay, so let me get you back on here, sir. So I can't about half. I appreciate that.
Let's continue on. 12:42. Where we at? Still not home?
That's what it's saying, but I'm here what I'm, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's fair, I guess.
Like I said,
1:35 a.m. 5:24. You know, sit there. Think of that. 5:24. What are we doing up here? Before
I don't ever remember being like,
oh, got it done now. We're gonna want to show you some stuff. Show us things.
show me some stuff.
When you come back.
Well, I'm not saying this, so I want you to do this. And I'm gonna say this, and I do not.
Oh.
The wrong time. So please don't, because I'm not. Told you I was drunk, and I was drinking yet. Oh, yes, I was. I'm sure you were.
Rude.
I don't know if my boy come back or not, and I would never blame nothing on my son. Never.
You know how I know that didn't happen?
Never. Well,
See, you're saying maybe Joey had a phone.
well, I mean, it's his son.
You couldn't get it.
Well, how do you go prove that he didn't?
I agree.
Okay, then they all.
You can't call him if he's using that.
I don't even remember ever talking to the guy. Well, no, can't say they did, can't say I didn't, and that's what I'm saying, but like I said,
So, we know, you and your phone are together this entire time.
okay.
We know you're talking to Joe.
Do what the hell?
I have a little bit of idea. I'm not really talking.
I'm telling you, anyway, that I did not hurt that woman's car, and I did not hurt that woman's liver. So I'm gonna tell you that straight up, I would never.
That's correct. I'll even say, I don't.
Well, you damn right I did.
What's wrong?
And I still didn't bother that. No, I don't. You think it's one thing. I did not. No, anything. But I told you the only car that I seen that day was that maroon car. Well, I call it Barbie maroon, whatever the color hell it was. Well, they pulled up out there on that job site. And like I said, I was out there and she was out there. Sort it out. Well, I don't know what you're looking for. Well,
Well, yeah.
what you're saying.
And I'm telling you, right, you said in front of a jury, they wouldn't believe me. I'm not asking you not to validate something. I'm asking you to explain to me something that makes sense.
And I'm sitting here trying because I don't know how. And you're acting like that I'm sitting here lying to you. What I don't know. And I'm telling you that, and you look at me like, well, this motherfucker's crazy. Or he's a fucking liar. And that's the honest, now that is the way you're looking at me. And you tell me I'm wrong, but you can't tell
I'm
me.
looking at you a long way. So, that's something you're saying. It's not something. Nothing. It's a simple.
But here's what I
Oh, are we done yet with this?
told you I didn't bother them, I did not hurt them. And me and God have a good time to that, and I don't care if you believe it or not. You cranked out before our day, and I don't know if you could rest with that now or not, I don't know.
No, don't do like that.
But, yes, and I was a man, I think I drove.
But not in 2000.
Oh, I
And you know what else? He freaking loves talking.
But you seen earlier.
People were not wrong.
I wouldn't do it no more. You seen that, you're all right. Did you not?
I'm not denying.
Because,
But you're making like that. That, you make it very common action all over the place.
and I probably would, if I was that,
Text them and call. You call brother, you want all 4 minutes, you do it, you make perfect sense. I tried to do that. You remember better than you did before you did, right? If he had to call you.
but yeah, he didn't have to call me. He knew I called him.
That's why that call.
And I don't got that. But he knew I called him.
I think the plan with you.
Hey, excuse me?
You let me know if you know.
I don't understand what you meant by that.
Now I'm talking about the call after. First,
Okay.
first call you from the sheriff's office. That's the truth. And you phone call. And ask you to be and you know what we talked about. Yeah, we talked about first. You got a call.
What ever did I call him?
I'm saying you could be one of that call.
Oh, he was shit, man. No, but yes, you are. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and you can take it for one problem. Never heard it, never bothered with me. And I don't know how else to say it, I don't know What else you need? You were there for no one. You know what you did, what you didn't. You know who you were with. You did not. You know the place that you were. Nothing. But said, what did you get? That he wants to look okay? Look, first time. Coming out first. Oh, okay. First time you tell me you did. First time I can't tell you neither nor. This says I will. I'm not telling you I will nowhere. Let me ask you this one. I want you to listen to this one. I'm hard out. Lay out back. And I'm trying. You made it clear. You and only you. Every time. That. Oh, but I'm in there. I don't do that. You get involved. Tammy's making calls to her front. Joey's making calls to her front. You're calling. First time front. You're using the phone. You're calling. That's cool. Everything on there shows that phone, right? You and your phone, right? So you, therefore, no, all those listen, I'm not helping you. Can you send them to oh, all right, right. I'm sorry. Shows you on those occasions. I'm throwing some other spots, but specifically going down the parkway, turn around and coming back, where her phone. So look, you just have that information that we can both agree. It makes me look guilty as a son of a bitch. How's that? Somebody's fine. Sir, don't you think I've been trying to do this? I do not. Oh my Jesus.
Okay. He definitely is a bullshitter. Oh, thank God that's over. Oh, it's painful.
That concludes what I asked you to record and provide the jury this morning. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you a few follow-up questions. You met him on August 6th of 2020, is that right?
Correct.
Talk about when you met with him, were you trying to get information about a phone call that was placed with Brooks Howe by the defendant at approximately 12:07 a.m.
Yes.
on July the 4th, 2015?
Yes.
All right. And did he tell you what that was about?
He did.
Did he tell you it was about getting an apartment or a house for his stepdaughter, Lauren Bell?
That was one of two things he said the call was about.
All right. Did you also talk to him about the July 8th call that was made by Brooks Howe to him from the Nelson County Sheriff's Office?
I did.
I don't know.
And
What a
he
mess.
gave you information on that. Is that right?
He did.
All right. Did you ask him whether he was stayed at home or went anywhere on the evening hours of July 4th through the afternoon of July 4th?
I did.
What did you know about that information that showed he may have traveled that night?
I was in possession, had reviewed what's referred to as a CAST report, cellular analysis support team, that a group, I believe, within the FBI analyzes communication between cellular devices and towers, plots it out on a map to essentially show where that device would be at any given time frame on an overlay map.
Was that based on his telephone?
Yes.
All right. And did you tell him that he had location evidence based on his phone during the interview on August the 6th of 2020?
I did.
And did that location evidence indicate that he did travel that night,
I did.
even though he told you he hadn't?
Correct.
I mean, yes, he is a liar,
And
liar.
did that
good liar.
location evidence indicate that he was in proximity of a spot that was important?
Yes.
And what was that spot?
The mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway where Crystal Rogers' vehicle was found abandoned.
All right, you tell him that.
I did.
Did he return anywhere after he had came to that location at mile 14 where Crystal Rogers' car was?
He did.
All right, what did he do?
The cast report indicated that his phone turned around at that location and came back towards Bardstown. My recollection is he went back to his residence, but then continued to move throughout a large area.
Now, you've heard some of this when you talked with him
Well, it's
this
debatable.
morning from the recording, is that right?
Yes,
You told him about what you saw in this location evidence, didn't you?
I did.
Did you ask him whether he had made contact or touched that car?
I did.
What did he tell you?
He said he had not.
And we've only talked about a couple of the going and coming from mile 14 mark where her car was abandoned back to Bardstown, but that wasn't all you found in your location evidence of his activity that day, was it?
It was not.
All right, and I know you mentioned this some, remind us what you find out about his travels that morning and into the rest of the day.
The cast report showed substantial travel throughout the county, telephone calls made and received, text messages made and received. And then in addition to other locations in the area, his cellular device was in an area, I believe it was north of Bardstown, for approximately 4 hours.
Do you know whether they call that Thompson Hill Road, Thompson Hill?
I did, and that's correct.
All right, and how long was he up there?
Approximately 4 hours.
Did he explain? You asked him about that, didn't you?
I did.
Did he give you any information of what he was doing up there at Thompson Hill for 4 hours in the morning of July the 4th of 2015?
He said he did not recall being there.
All right. One second here, let me just look at my notes, Detective. Let me check with my colleagues for just a moment. All right. That's all I have. Please extend the same courtesy to counsel. Oh, here, there, now.
Oh. I'm going to extend the same courtesy. Like, why did you say that? It's so weird. It's nice, but
Anything
weird.
else, Mr. Wolf? Looking up, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Schaefer, so I don't recall if I heard this or not. What is your current role? What do you do?
As we sit here now, I'm a detective with the Office of Attorney General.
Detective with Office of the AG.
Correct. I'm also assigned part-time as an FBI task force officer.
Okay. And in your role as working with the FBI, do you meet with people and talk to them and utilize what we standardly call a polygraph?
Yes.
And you know what I mean by polygraph, right? You tell me what a polygraph is actually. Just tell the jury actually who we're talking to.
Technically referred to as psychophysiological detection of deception. In my FBI career, I was
You may.
Objection. We don't want to be talking about lie detectors. Okay. Why are we objecting? I'm curious. That's interesting.
Polygraphs are off bounds. It's evidence in the case. I don't know where he's going, but I'm
The-
trying to stop it before we get there.
Okay. The results of a polygraph are not admissible, but the fact that you utilize a polygraph when discussing a case with a particular witness is not off limits. I'm not going to ask him what anybody's results were. I'm going to ask him if he utilized those when speaking with another witness in this case.
I'm not yet. I'm not familiar with that.
It's akin to using a preliminary breathalyzer test in the DUI case. You can't testify about the results because they're not scientifically reliable. But you
It's a
can
fair
testify
point.
whether or not
It's a method they utilize. I'm not asking, did
And I guess I don't know the facts here, so did somebody take a polygraph in this case?
yes,
Who took a polygraph?
Nick Hauk,
So Nick Houck took a polygraph.
correct.
And where are you trying to go with this?
I want to ask him if when Nick Hauk took that polygraph, if he told him that he was lying, and if Nick Hauk basically told him nothing and terminated the interview with him.
That's, first of all, it's irrelevant.
I don't know why that's
It's
relevant.
just exactly what we have said. You can't put polygraph evidence into a trial. It's not reliable. It's a long term. I understand what he's saying. I don't know of any case law that says you can use it up to point A, not point B. It is inadmissible in the court of law because it is considered to be unreliable. And then, but Nick Houck's polygraph, I don't know what that evidence is now. You couldn't put it on, it wouldn't.
I hope you all keep hearing how the state is saying lie detectors are unreliable.
We had a discussion with Nick Houck, he accused him of lying. You could certainly do that.
Judge, I think you can inquire.
Because the police sure loves doing those and letting everybody know when they do. And somebody,
Was Nick Houck subjected to a polygraph? Answer: yes. Did you continue to conduct an interview? Did you tell me why? Yes. Well, Mr. Lawson, you can ask the question: did you use a polygraph with Mr. Lawson? Was it offered?
I agree. I don't think they're having a very good argument about this.
You're treading into an area where I don't think polygraphs are just. You're obviously, you can't do those injunctions. I think you can get the same person saying that you had a discussion with Nick Houck that you accuse him of lying. When you put in polygraph, I think that's a
I got
problem.
it.
Okay.
He's going to say objection.
So, of course, you're here because the Commonwealth has called you to discuss a statement that my client made to you, correct?
Correct.
And you know my client is,
I do.
right? Okay. And that statement we just listened to, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And are you still involved in this case? When I say involved, are you familiar with the file? Do you have any type of responsibility related to this case, or are you officially off and basically doing your stuff at the AG?
I think for
I'm not involved in
PR,
the testifying.
Yeah, okay. Do you remember though, actually, do you have your file with you?
I don't have.
You don't have your file with you? Do you have it anywhere in the courthouse?
Could you define file for me?
Well, do you have a file? I assume that when you get involved in the case, you create paperwork, right?
Yes.
I'll
Do
be
you
right
have any
back,
paperwork
folks.
related to your investigation into the disappearance of Crystal Rogers?
In the room outside, I have a transcript of the entire interview with Mr. Lawson.
Okay. Do you have any other documents besides that?
No,
Okay. Did you create any other documents besides that in this case?
I don't believe it.
Okay. Speaking to my client was not your only involvement in this case. Would you agree with me?
That's correct.
Okay. You also spoke to an individual named Nick Houck. Is that true?
I did.
Okay. And you spoke to Nick Houck in 2015. Is that correct?
That sounds correct. Yeah.
And you know what? If you had a file, we could refer to your file. Are you sure it's not in your file somewhere?
To be clear, within the FBI, there are reports that I've documented. As far as Mr. Lawson goes, I don't believe that's correct.
Okay. But when you were dealing with Mr. Houck, you were a part of the FBI, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you're at the FBI, of course, you document everything that you do, right?
We document a lot, yes.
Okay. And a lot of times we call that a 302. Is that correct?
Yes,
A 302 is basically just the number that you use. It's an internal number with the FBI, right?
correct.
And that internal number is basically your report. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that you can document your file, right?
Yes.
Because if you do something in 2015 and it doesn't go to trial until 2025, you might need to refresh your memory. Would you agree?
Correct.
Because you can't remember everything you did 10 years ago, right?
Correct.
Okay. And in 2015, you had an interview with Nick Houck, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask it again. Do you have, as you sit here today, access to any of the paperwork that was produced when you were speaking with Mr. Houck?
Do access? Yes.
How do you have access to it?
Because as an FBI task force officer, I still maintain my clearance and access to FBI files. I can go to the computer system and retrieve them.
Okay, but you don't have it as you're sitting here today. Correct? You don't have it with you. You don't have physically, you don't have those documents. Correct? So we're going to go off of some memory then. Okay. Would you agree when we talk about Nick Houck? Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember the conversation with Nick Houck?
I do.
Okay. Tell us about that.
If I'm allowed to.
Absolutely. Tell me how it started. Tell me why you. Let's just start with this. Why did you even begin and why did you even think to talk to Nick Houck? Because let me start with this. You're an investigator, right?
Yes.
You're a trained investigator,
Yes.
right? And your job is to collect facts, right? And those facts are basically what lead you to conclusions and lead you to other evidence. You collect facts, right?
Correct.
One of the things that you collect physical evidence, right?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. You also collect testimony, right?
Yes.
Right. And you collect those pieces of evidence in order to lead you in what you believe is the appropriate direction when you're attempting to, in essence, solve a mystery, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what was it that led you to Nick Houck?
I was asked to conduct a polygraph examination of Nick Houck.
Okay. By who?
I would have been the case agent in the investigation at the time. I believe it was Steve Curie, but I'm not certain.
Okay. And Steve Curie, he is, let's talk about Mr. Curie. Actually, it's Special Agent Curie, isn't it?
Yes.
Because he works for the FBI, doesn't he?
I believe he still does. Yes.
Okay. And he, to your knowledge, what was his role in this particular case that we're here for the jury to decide today?
At the time, I believe he was the case agent assigned to the Crystal Rogers investigation.
Okay, as we sit here today, is he still the case agent to your knowledge?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay. All right. So, Agent Curie told you to go out and do a polygraph of Nick Houck. Is that correct?
I believe it was Agent Curie.
Yes. You may approach.
Just said, I don't get the polygraph.
He said it. I didn't say it. I asked him. I did not.
What was that? What did he do? Why did he do it?
Turn my mic off first, Jack. Just let me turn it off first. Sit off. It's not showing in the room.
The question was, first of all, he's not allowed to go to polygraph.
I'm just stating this. I don't want to hear the word polygraph again.
Thank you.
With the understanding, it doesn't matter. But I didn't ask him to say that, obviously.
Wait,
But
you just said it then. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear the word polygraph anymore. Okay.
that word will be stricken from my brain. No second thing. All right. So Special Agent Curie, to your memory, asked you to go out and have a conversation with Nick Houck. Is that correct?
He asked me to conduct a polygraph.
Okay. Did you go do that?
I did.
Did you have a conversation with him?
I did.
Okay. I don't want to know anything about the results of any examination. I don't want to know any of that. Okay. We're not going to use that anymore. Right? We're not going to talk. However, I do want to know, when you spoke to Nick Houck, did you ask him about his involvement in the disappearance of Crystal Rogers?
I did.
Okay. And did he give you any information about his involvement?
He denied involvement in her disappearance.
Okay. And did you have information when you spoke with him that he was in fact involved?
I don't remember the specific case facts. Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, you would have clearly. And if you had your file with you, we'd be able to ask you to look in there to see what those pieces of information were, right? You'd be able to tell us why you went to speak to him and what information you had before that, right?
The information is in the file.
It's in the file. All right. But it's safe to say that when you went to speak to him, you had some type of information that led you to believe he was involved, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he didn't tell you anything, did he?
Certainly we had a conversation. He would have told me something. Did he deny involvement? Yes.
He did deny that involvement, didn't he?
Correct.
Okay. And when he denied the involvement in that, You pressed him on it, didn't you?
I did.
Because that's what you do as an examiner, right? It's one of your tools. You don't just allow somebody to tell you they didn't have any involvement in something and then just move on, right?
Correct.
You use your tools. You utilize the tools that you have to try to press things out of them, right?
Sometimes.
Okay, and you did that, in fact, with Mr. Howard.
I did.
Okay. You, in fact, told him specifically, as you're sitting there doing your discussion with him, that he was lying to you. Do you remember telling him that?
I'm sure I did.
Okay. Do you remember telling him that the cat is out of the bag and that he needs to basically needs to tell what his involvement is?
I don't remember the phraseology, but yes.
Okay. And do you know, as we stand here today and have this discussion, has Nick Houck been indicted for anything?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Do you keep in contact with the prosecutors at all in this case?
I do not.
Okay.
Other than to
Did you
prepare.
talk to him before coming in here today? And you're telling this jury that you don't know whether or not Nick Houck has been indicted in the disappearance of Crystal Rogers?
You asked
You
if
just
I-
don't know that?
You asked if I knew he'd been indicted. I don't know.
No, I said, do you know if he has been indicted?
I do not know.
Would it surprise you if I told you he has not been indicted?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. Did you watch any of the, I'm assuming you didn't. Are you aware of the fact that Mr. Lawson has admitted his involvement in this case? He's admitted to this jury that he in fact did move the car. Are you aware of that?
I was told that recently.
You were. Who told you that?
I believe during preparation for testimony, it was mentioned in passing.
Okay. So will you agree with me then that, quite frankly, what you have told us today in relation to what he told you, this jury already knew? Would you agree? Because Mr. Lawson, in his opening, admitted that he in fact moved that vehicle.
I don't understand the
And
question.
so the question is, when you were as you're testifying, we listened to the audio, correct?
Yes.
And in that audio, Mr. Lawson says that he did not have anything to do with the movement of the vehicle, right?
That is correct.
You heard that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to confirm with you, you're aware that this jury was told in opening that we acknowledge that that was not true. Are you aware of that?
I was not prior to
Okay. All right. Let's talk about, just for a brief second, CAS reports. You talked about CAS report. What is a CAS report?
CAST report, it stands for Cellular Analysis Survey Team. And CAST report, as I mentioned earlier, is
Good morning, Kelly.
an electronic examination of cellular devices as they communicate with cellular towers
I had to let my
to
dogs out
determine location over a given time span.
and make another pot of coffee.
And in this
And
particular
message
case, you
Elbow
had
Feet
stated
happy
that
anniversary,
your
so I look
CAS
like the more
report
thoughtful partner.
indicated that Mr. Lawson or his phone, because when we talk CAS reports, we're talking about phones, right?
Correct.
We're not talking about an individual. We're talking about a phone, right?
The report itself, that's correct.
Okay. Because we don't know specifically who's holding a device. Would you agree with me?
In this case, are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about in general. We don't ever know. I could have my wife's cell phone on me. Would you agree? Just answer that. Could I have my wife's cell phone on me?
You could.
Okay. And if something came up later where we wanted to know where my wife was, it may indicate that she is now standing in a courtroom in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
We
Would you agree?
No.
You would not?
I would indicate a phone would be there.
Exactly. And that's my point, that the CAS report only tells us where a particular phone is, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so when we rely on CAS reports, there's a missing link there, correct? The missing link is you have to make sure that when we're talking about where a person is, that we know that that person had that telephone. Would you agree?
Mystery solved
And we
25
usually
years
get that
later.
by evidence of either we ask the person, right?
Or whenever
Whether
it
they
came
had their
out.
phone, or we may have some other evidence. Maybe we saw them on video or something. Would you agree? That's how we determine where people are located.
Those are ways to do so, yes.
Okay. All right. And there was a discussion by you with Mr. Lasowski related to time that you believe that my client spent at Thompson Hill. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you stated that there was correct me if I'm wrong, you said there was a 4-hour time period at Thompson Hill that is, I think you used the word unaccounted for. Is that the term you used?
I don't recall if that's the term I used.
Okay.
Did I indicate that his device appeared to be there? Yes, I did.
Okay. So it was his device that appeared to be at Thompson Hill for a 4-hour period, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you are speculating, as you talk to this jury, you're speculating as to whether or not Mr. Lawson was at Thompson Hill for a 4-hour period, right?
I'm not speculating.
You're not speculating? Are you telling, let me ask you, are you telling the jury that he was there for 4 hours?
No, I'd be happy to explain.
Say again?
I'd be happy to explain.
Please do.
I'm asking you a question, which is whether or not you can confirm that Steve Lawson was at Thompson Hill at a particular time between July 3rd and July 4th over a 4-hour period. That's what I'm asking.
Over a 4-hour period? No.
Okay. You cannot confirm that, can you?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any additional questions.
Any redirect?
Yes. I'm Shane Young.
Oh, Shane.
Okay, Mr. Schaefer. I was going to talk about openings, but I do want to correct something that was stated. Are you aware that the defendant didn't admit moving the car down the bluegrass, just merely going out and touching it, picking up his son? Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
We see counsel at the bench.
Shane always trying to get in these little things he knows he's not supposed to.
I specifically stated in my opening that he put his hand inside the vehicle and moved, and he moved the seat.
No, he said he moved the car down the bluegrass.
No, in his opening, he did
No,
say.
no, I know he said that. He was telling Schaefer that he moved the car down the bluegrass, which is
What?
not, which is
No,
not
I
what he
didn't.
said.
I said, Judge, correct me if I'm wrong. I said to this person, would it surprise you that in my opening that my client admitted to moving the vehicle?
The vehicle. That's what he said. And that's
To being involved in the movement of the vehicle. That's what I said.
Let's just move on.
Now, would it also surprise you to know, just based on your knowledge of this whole case, that Nick Houck has been named as an unindicted co-conspirator?
I was unaware.
Why
Would
is he
it
allowed to
surprise
say
you?
that?
Based on what you know?
No.
Would it surprise you that Rosemary Houck was named?
No.
Okay. And when you were investigating this case, is it your belief that Steve Lawson was involved with Brooks Houck in this case?
Yes.
All right. And it was a coordinated effort,
I can
correct?
smell the desperation.
And then Mr. Lawson's job in the conspiracy was to move the car, correct?
Objection. He cannot answer that question. He's asking him to speculate. He is an investigator.
I'll sustain
and
the
those questions
objection.
are completely off
I'll
limits.
sustain the objection.
Oh.
And I'm going to ask that he stop asking those
All right, let me
questions.
send you up here. Come up here.
Ooh. Ooh. We're getting some spice. He didn't even go up to the judge. He made sure to say that in front of the jury. Ooh.
That's uncalled for, and he knew when he went down that road that he should not be asking those types of
No,
questions.
both of you. We're not going to point at each other. We're not going to. You look at me, both of you. Settle down. Settle down.
A babysitter.
Be respectful to each other in the courtroom. Okay. Okay. Go to your objection.
Judge, the objection is that this witness cannot state what Mr. Young has asked him to state, which is that whether or not he believes Mr. Lawson is involved in some type of conspiracy. He can't
I
answer
think we
that.
need to talk about specifics as to the facts are instead of general beliefs. So
I do.
Yes. Thank you.
He knew better. I can't believe he's allowed to say unindicted co-conspirator. That's just really weird that they can bring that up. But
So in your investigation, you talked to Mr. Lawson, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here. So I can look at you. And you were questioning, correct? About his whereabouts
Yes.
on the evening of the 3rd into the 4th, correct?
That's correct.
And you were the understanding that his phone, okay, had moved down the Bluegrass Parkway, correct?
Correct.
To the approximate location where Crystal Rogers' vehicle is located, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And would it surprise you? I know that the defense counsel has raised that anybody can have anybody's phone. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, your personal phone. Do you typically get calls and texts on your personal phone from your family?
I do.
Okay, and are you aware who Mr. Lawson's son was?
Yes.
And who is that?
Joey Lawson.
All right, and you aware who his wife was?
At the time, Tammy. Yes.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know that he was getting calls from Tammy and Joey Lawson that night?
Yeah, I was aware of that.
Are you also aware that he admitted to being on the Bluegrass?
Yes.
Okay. And that he had been at Thompson Hill Road. Is that correct? Or up in the area of Thompson Hill Road?
He told me that.
Okay. We heard testimony yesterday from a Charlie Girdley that said he went up with Joey Lawson to Thompson Hill Road and picked up Steve Lawson, the defendant, and saw Crystal Rogers' car there. Would that surprise you?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't have any further questions.
Any reasons?
Just to be clear, you understand that everything that was just asked of you by Mr. Young was already told to this jury by the defense counsel in the opening statement in this case. Are you aware of that?
I think he's already answered. He wasn't in the room during opening, so.
Yes or no? Are you aware of that?
Only from your statements here today.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is that all of this witness? Any questions from any jurors? All right. Tell you what, why don't we take about a 10-minute break? The same admonitions are in place, ladies and gentlemen, the jury. You're not to discuss this case among yourselves. Don't make up your mind. Don't kind of make up your mind about the case and all the evidence that's been presented. You've gone to the jury room. Consider the instructions from the court and consider what your fellow jurors have to say about the case. If anybody tries to talk to you about the case, I need you to immediately report that to me. We'll take a 10-minute break and we go to play.
And I've just been talking and I was muted the whole time, so that's fun. No, Sherry, you didn't really miss anything. We couldn't hear half the interview anyway.
Court's in recess until 9:50.
All right, who's the next witness gonna be? Now, tomorrow, I believe there's a very big blow up between Shane and nice hair attorney. I can't remember his name, but tomorrow it's going to get spicy. We do not speak Kentucky mumble here.
Everyone may be seated. Thank you. All 15 jurors have returned to the courtroom.
In an attempt to move it along when it comes to our case, I want to find out if there is a possible stipulation by the Commonwealth related to a couple of things that we plan on either calling witnesses to confirm, or if we could stipulate, and I think they may do it, so I'm going to state what it is now. I want a stipulator, I'm looking for a stipulation for the date that Mr. Lawson was indicted for tampering with physical evidence. It's May 24th of 2023, according to that document. Okay. And then I also want, or I'll be seeking admission of the court order related to what his bond conditions were. Which is what
relevance. I don't have a problem.
And then lastly, just the same with the first one, but the date that he was indicted on the conspiracy to commit murder. And needless to say, if there was no stipulation, then I might have to jump through a few hoops to get certain people here, and I don't want to go through that effort if there would be and I understand that Mr. Young's not stipulating to relevance, but as far as the authenticity and or the contents of those documents and the dates involved, if there's a stipulation, I think we can.
I can't figure any relevance unless we're going to talk about the statements they gave on pleading guilty.
Right
Yeah,
now,
we're
we're just talking about.
I understand.
It's just to help me
We all
decide
agree
whether we
on
need.
these are authentic. We don't have to get stuck in the clerk's office.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Commonwealth, our Commonwealth and Defense, do I waive the call of the jury? Okay, call your next witness.
Justin Hall.
Justin Hall.
Oh, this is the jail phone call guy. That's weird. That's okay.
Just raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be
Thank
the
you so
truth,
much,
the
Joy.
whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You have a seat right over there, please. Please answer all questions asked of you. Try to sit as close to the microphone as you can. Mr. Young, proceed when you're ready.
Yes. Justin, would you introduce yourself, ladies and gentlemen, jury?
Oh, let me
I'm
make
Justin Hall. I'm the Nelson County jailer.
Okay, and how long have you been jailer?
I've been jailer since 2023.
Okay, and
hopefully we can
how
hear
many
these
inmates
phone
do you have
calls.
in Nelson County Jail?
We average around 120 to 140.
Okay, how many employees you have?
We have right now 38.
Okay, and are you a full-time jailer?
Yes, sir.
All right, and as part of your job as jailer, are you custodian the records over phone calls made from the jail?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did I ask you to pull some jail calls?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, and would one be on January 9th of 24 and one on January 5th of 2024?
That is correct, sir.
That's
Yes.
correct. And that involved an inmate, Steve Lawson. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Huh? January 5th and January 9th. Oh, they're not that long. Yeah, they're not that long. One's like. And the video, or the audios you provided me, do they fairly and accurately, are they exact copies of what?
Yes, sir.
Now, these have been cut and they're not the complete video, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, Judge, I'd move to introduce into evidence Commonwealth Exhibit 33 and 34.
Any objection to 33 and 34?
No objection.
Show the
Did you say
introduced.
video? Are these video calls? We never get to see those.
And Judge, with the court's permission, I would like to publish to the jury the January 5th call. Is that correct? Yes, January 5th call.
Proceed when you're ready.
Better be able to hear these. Uh-oh, what's Teresa's password? Kind of. But now we know that's Teresa's computer with the awful desktop background and this awful filter.
And all this mess, and all these people that you want to do us,
Okay, one, it's a video. Didn't know that. Love that for us. I've never seen a video jail call used in trial before. I'm sure it has, but we just haven't seen them. And whew, it's going to be rough on your ears, y'all. Okay.
in all this mess, and all these people that you want to do us this. Not nobody ever said whatever happened to this girl's body.
There wasn't nobody but Joey and
Fucking Charlie.
yeah, that's it, Mama.
It bothers me so much too.
Look, somebody had to know what happened to the girl's body.
And I don't disagree with that. Have you heard me say one time that I disagree with that?
I mean, hell, y'all talked about it, y'all did this and y'all did that.
No, whoa, wait a minute.
That's what a
Come
bullshit
on,
is.
wait a minute, tell me what.
I told you, Joyce, we was gonna go get the car. That's what we did. That's what I got asked to do. That's what I did.
What did you get asked to do before that, though?
Nothing, Mom. Nothing.
You didn't ask, Brooks Fountain didn't ask you to kill her?
Well, all I heard is exactly what he said. Exactly. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. He said, well, I want her gone. I said, what are you talking about?
You might
This
call her
is
Joyce.
just walking up the
My
road.
name's Barbara. I was disappointed we didn't get to see the video of them.
Okay. And I said, oh, what are you talking about? He said, I want her gone. I said, then you better talk to Charlie or somebody, because I don't know what you're talking to me. That's exactly what I said. No more, no less. End the story. Period.
Well, I feel like he said Joyce, but maybe it was Joey.
So how did y'all get Crystal's car?
I just told you.
No, you didn't. How'd you get Crystal's car?
I told you sitting at the bar. I told you. No, Mama, I told you this story a while back.
You told me Joey took the car. You didn't say nothing about you, but all of a sudden you're in the middle of it.
No, I told you I dropped him off to get the car.
No, Stevie. No, you did not. Let me tell you what you told me.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop right there.
Go ahead.
You said, Mama, I gave Joey and Charlie the keys to my vehicle.
No, to go get high. And I told you this.
What? And when they come back, Charlie wasn't with
There
them.
was no Charlie to come back, Mama.
Exactly.
Charlie didn't come back. Joey did.
All right. So you took him to get the car, or did he take you to the car?
No, I took him and dropped him off. I went back to the farm, started drinking again.
Where did y'all go get her car from?
Right up the road beside the golf course, Mom. I told you that too.
Right up the road beside the golf course. Is that where they live?
I went out to the farm, started drinking, and Joey just shows up out of the blue. I told him, I said, what the fuck are you doing with that car here? He sort of just gave me a shitty, I don't know, you know how Joey does, how he looks at you and says crazy shit. I know you get the fucking car out of here. I'm sitting out here drinking. The phone rings. It's Joey. He said he was broke down. I said, what do you mean you broke down? He said he was broke down. I said, where you broke down at? He said the BG. I was like, well, you know, BG's goes 14 different directions, Mom. I said, what do you mean at BG? He said, going toward E-Town. I said, okay, I'll come out there and get you. I went out there to picked him up. I did. We come back to Bartown. I can't remember if I dropped him off at the 5-Star or the Log Cabin. He said he was wanting some, you know what he was wanting. He wants some dope. That's fine.
Right.
Get some dope. That's what you do. I don't give a fuck. I drive back over to the house. Me and Tammy get into it again, and I leave again. Then Joey shows back up, me and him run back out the farm. I sit out there and I drink probably till 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Then I tell him I'm hungry. He said, well, I got some fudge rounds. You know what a fudge round is? A cupcake.
Right.
I said, no, I'm going to the house and eat. I said, you more than welcome to go too. We drive back to the house. Well, she didn't want Joey there. It was all right for Lauren to be there, but it wasn't all right for Joey to be there. I said, fuck it, I'll go over to Denver and stay.
It was wild.
Well, here's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why in the hell did you even take Joey to get the fucking car?
I don't know, Mama. I don't fucking honestly don't know. How's that? That's the truth.
But you knew 2 days later that she was missing.
Yeah, and I should have said something right then.
Yes, you should have.
Yes, I
You
should.
should have. You should have went to not the Bardstown police. You should have went to the fucking state troopers
Get him, Barbara.
You're right.
and told them
You're
that
right.
this was going on.
You're right. I know, but
I mean, you only you know what happened, not me.
no. Here's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you something. Me and him knows.
I'm going to tell you something.
And Judge, if you're in the court, we'll go ahead and play the January 9th call.
When I say this, please, will you just listen to me like an angry?
I'm listening.
Okay, I'm trying to get out of here and get my life straightened back out and try to get things straightened out. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? Doesn't make any sense to you at all.
You got this week to do it. One time. I don't know
But
what happened to that girl's body, but y'all do.
I do not. Have you understand?
I don't think there's a body to find anymore, but I think every fucking one of you know what happened to her body.
No, I do not, and I done told you I will never say that because I don't. You want me to say something that is not true, then that gets me in trouble.
You just tell the goddamn truth.
And that is the truth. And you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me.
6 years, and it was all a lie.
Listen to me.
How do you expect me to believe you now?
That's your choice. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I don't know.
You told me all kinds of shit for the last 6 years.
Would you listen to me, please?
None of it's true.
Would you please listen? Please? I don't want to argue. I'm telling you, I don't know, and you want me to say something that's not true, then that gets me in more trouble.
See, that's what pisses me off, because you don't think that. You,
But I know what I did.
one time you and Joey went and got, or you went and done this, and the next time Charlie and Joey went and done it.
Oh, no, I
man,
said Charlie and
that's
Joey.
a woman.
I said Charlie and Joey left my car to go behind. I said I took Joey. It's never changed. No, ma'am.
So there's a conflict. There's a conflict there somewhere.
No, I don't know about Charlie. I don't know nothing about Charlie other than what I know. That's it, honey. That's it.
Ah, it is his wife. What's her name? Rebecca?
Period.
Charlie killed her. Say you don't and you're a liar.
Excuse me?
You know Charlie killed her.
How do you figure this?
You're the one that set Brooks up with Charlie.
I didn't say he done it. I said there's a man there. I didn't say that he done nothing like that.
Exactly. There's your man right there.
But I didn't say that he done that.
No,
But he was,
to all of it. Premeditated murder.
I wasn't on premeditation on my end. I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody says.
Steve, listen to me carefully.
I am listening.
The very first time that Brooks House ever mentioned her motherfucking name and killing in the same city, when you didn't go tell somebody that he was going to kill her, that makes you as guilty as he is. You could have saved her.
No, I'm listening to
This
that.
right here is why you didn't want to talk about this for 6 fucking years, and you didn't want nobody else talking about it around you, because you fucking knew. You knew for 8 fucking years and didn't tell us so. That's the part I can't get past. You could have saved that girl's life and you didn't even bother. And she meant nothing to you. And then I listened to you, how much respect you had for Tommy and the mountain. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard.
You're wrong. I don't word that.
And help them set up to kill his daughter.
I've never done such. I've never done such.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I already know that. You've already admitted to that.
I never set nobody up.
To me.
I never set nobody up.
You didn't have a conversation with Brooks House?
You said I'm setting people up. What are you saying that for? That I didn't.
That girl got killed, and you knew it was going to happen.
Why are you even saying all this to me?
Because that's the truth.
Okay.
You need to face it.
But you saying I've done something that I didn't do, though, is what my problem is.
What did I say you didn't do? What did I say that you haven't done?
You saying that I know where the body is, and I don't.
No, I didn't say you knew where the body is. See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't listen.
Well, that's what it
You know
sounds like
what
to
happened
me.
to that body.
No, I do not.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
They're going to put a stop in 2 minutes.
All of you know what happened to it.
No, I don't. I don't know about them. I said me. I don't know about them. I don't know. I said I don't.
Nobody starts out a plan like this without a finish.
Well, I didn't say somebody didn't do it. I said it wasn't me.
It's funny because the news reported that was a guy, and it's definitely his wife, which Rebecca Greer, I think, is her. One of his many.
Justin, your association with this case, you did not investigate this case.
No, sir.
You have no knowledge, independent knowledge of anything about this case outside of what you may have seen in the media. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, Judge, I don't have any further questions.
Any cross?
Justin.
Mr. Hall, I just have a few just kind of detailed questions for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
And it's about the telephone call system at the jail.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're familiar with that system, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you just laid a foundation for these jurors about how telephone calls come in, right? And how they're recorded.
You want me to explain how they?
Yeah, go right ahead. That'd be
Okay.
fine.
Every jail, and ours is no exception. There's a phone inside of the dorm. They are collecting recorded phone calls inside the jail. The call is initiated from the inmate to the outside party, whoever that is, and the outside party chooses whether to accept, deny charges, stuff of that nature.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a disclosure at the beginning of a conversation before they get connected.
Yes.
There's a disclosure,
Yes,
right, by the provider.
Yes, it says calls are subject to recording and monitoring,
Okay,
or
so
generally says that.
okay, so when somebody picks up a telephone and they're in jail, and the same with the person on the other end, they realize that they are being recorded, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Because it states it very plainly to them before they even pick up the phone call.
That's correct.
Right? It does. I think it even gives them an opportunity to hang up, doesn't it?
It does give them an opportunity to hang up.
Okay, so it's safe to say that both parties in this particular case would have been, that we just heard those two phone calls, both parties would have been alerted before they connected that they were being recorded.
Yes, they would have been.
That's a safe statement?
A safe statement.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else to this witness, Mr. Young? No, sir. Any questions from any jurors? May this witness be finally excused? I'm subject to recall. You're subject to recall, so please remain here. Call your next
He
witness.
doesn't get recalled.
Judge, that concludes the proof. Is that all the proof from the Commonwealth? Thank you. assume we need to take up some motions and matters outside the presence of the jury at this time. That'd be correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Commonwealth has closed their case, so there's some motions and matters I have to take up outside your presence. So I'm going to ask you to step out, and I hope to have you back in here by about 10:35, 10:40, okay? Same conditions are in place.
This is going to be our usual defense. It's going to ask for this entire case to be dismissed because there's not enough. A reasonable jury would not find him guilty. That's just something they do in every trial, and it's never granted. I don't think I've ever seen it granted before. Oh, I can probably change that banner.
Everyone may be seated. Let the record reflect that this time the Commonwealth has closed its case in chief. Are there any motions or matters
case in chief
to address with the court at this time?
Judge, what I would like to do is get maybe a 10-minute recess so we can come in and better articulate the motions, and we will be back.
Sure. If you'd like 10 minutes, it's fine.
Okay?
Realized
I'll be right here.
my banner said day 2 all day.
10's good. 10.
All right. Can we get excused then?
Yes, I'll be right here. Thank you. You're still on the record, aren't you, Frank? Okay, just make sure we're on the record.
It's just a timing issue to perhaps make things a little easier. When I assume you have not let the jury go yet at this point in time, right? Not for the day. They're
just waiting for us
very
right
good.
now.
Okay, so we'll make the motion, and then since they have rested, we're not ready to go like immediately because we thought that it was at least going to be till lunch. So could we let the jury go? It's not overly early. Can we let the jury go for an early lunch so that we can come back?
Did they come back?
And not have to.
What time are you going to be ready to call a witness?
Well,
no. They just spend the rest of the day arguing, it looks like. Oh, no, they do have.
Right to tomorrow.
What is happening?
Right tomorrow, and then
We'll see.
Let us think about that. It's a little premature for me to tell you. Yeah, I know. I'm not helping. In fact, I'm the one that brought us up here in the first place, so I know I got myself in this quandary.
Quandary. That's a word you don't hear enough.
If it's okay, Judge, if we could maybe, this will be obviously a 3-minute discussion here, and then have them come back at 1.
How long do you anticipate the proof lasting? I don't know to get finished with the proof today.
I know, and we do have one expert that is traveling as we speak, and he won't be here till tomorrow morning. I can tell you that, Dr. Reich.
But that's okay.
Okay. No way we can get him here today.
You can call him. See what we're in. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'd like to get him here today.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't realize they'd be okay with that, but that.
I mean, if he gets this done,
I would just like the jury to have a whole day, and I don't want them going out at 5 o'clock on a Friday because they're not going to be going out at 5 o'clock on a Friday.
All right. So, in a perfect world, for Your Honor, then we would finish proof today, including closings.
Well, I don't know how many witnesses you have. I would like to, but if you've got witnesses are going to take, I'm going to let you put on whatever you want to put on. I just don't want to be wasting time either.
I realize that, nor do I. And we're trying to pivot based on some witnesses that we thought were going to be called that were not called. So there were some prizes for us during this morning's session that we're trying to pivot off of and decide how to react. And unfortunately, I can't just do it off the cuff without sitting down and thinking about it. What's that?
That was based on what was represented yesterday, though.
Okay.
We can presume that to
Yeah,
work.
let's do this. Let us just think about it again. I apologize for bringing us up here to do nothing but cause confusion. It did help, though, to learn that Dr. Wright can testify by Zoom. And if that's the case, then we might be able to finish proof today. Just give us a time, give us a little second again.
Okay, I just need to know what to tell the jury. Is what I need. Yeah. Okay.
This accessory makes a lot more sense to me than conspiracy for him and Joe. I just don't feel like there was a conspiracy for murder. And that's one of the charges I really struggle with for both of
All right,
them.
at this time,
My
the jury is
opinion.
not in the courtroom. The court is going to take up any motions or matters that need to be addressed.
I'll be right back to this.
Does the defense have any motions or matters it wishes to address?
I do, Your Honor. Give me 1 second, please. Judge, on behalf of Stephen Lawson, the defense will make the following motion. It's going to be a motion for a judgment of acquittal under Rule 10.24 of the Criminal Rules of Procedure. Specifically, the rule allows for such motions to be made at the end of the close of the business or the presentation of the evidence by the Commonwealth, which they have just rested. And of course, we admitted in opening it to the tampering, Your Honor. So we, of course, are not making that motion in relation to the tampering. It's more specifically in relation to the criminal conspiracy to commit murder. Judge, reading the statute is 506040, which is criminal conspiracy. The statute reads specifically, a person having the intention of promoting or facilitating the commission of a crime is guilty of criminal conspiracy when he, A, agrees with one or more persons that at least one of them will engage in conduct constituting that crime or an attempt or solicitation to commit such a crime, or B, agrees to aid one or more persons in the planning or commission of that crime or an attempt or solicitation to commit such a crime. Judge, I am aware that the law requires the court to take the evidence that's been presented in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth. I think even doing so, I don't believe that the evidence so far at the end of the business of today, I don't believe that that evidence shows that a reasonable jury could take the light and the evidence that we have heard and conclude that Stephen Lawson is guilty of criminal conspiracy to commit murder. And again, I understand that we take it in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth. However, based on the statute that I just read, I do not believe that any reasonable jury could come to a conclusion that Mr. Lawson is guilty as charged of criminal conspiracy to commit murder. And that's my motion for judgment of acquittal under RCR 10.24.
Any response?
Yes, Judge, under Sawhill versus Commonwealth, I know Your Honor knows like the evidence has to be taken like it's fair to the Commonwealth. This one, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if anybody in the courtroom can. It's
Okay. Well, you're the important.
They're all shaking their head no out there, so you might want to put on the microphone there because you're in my direction, so I think that's why I can hear you. They can.
So, under the statute that Mr. Wolf cited, it's a criminal conspiracy statute, there has to be an agreement plus an overt act. And the agreement was between Brooks Hout and Mr. Lawson that him or Joey would move the car in furtherance of the conspiracy. Mr. Lawson was aware that Mr. Hout was looking to kill Krista Rogers, and in fact actually solicited him to do the same, which he admitted to on different occasions. He admitted to based on the proof that we've heard. Not only that, and that moving the car was part of it. I mean, if you think about a murder and you're setting a scene for a murder, if you're wanting to set the ruse or plan a ruse that she left, which is what the story was that was given, then you need somebody to move the car. Those two admitted to moving the car. Further, you get into solicitation. When Mr. Hout inquired about Mr. Lawson killing Krista Rogers, Mr. Lawson, somewhat to his credit, said, I'm not the one that's going to do that. But he goes, you do have somebody here that will, Charlie. And he actually took it one step further and went out
Oh,
talked to Charlie about it.
Jane.
At which point, Mr. Gurley testified and actually said he laughed about it. So
Learn how microphones work.
At this stage of the proceeding, the court is required to view the evidence in a light most favorable to the Commonwealth, and based upon the proof the court has heard here today, the court is going to deny the motion for directed verdict at this time. It's my understanding we're going to bring back in the jury, and what do you want me to tell them?
Judge, give me a second, please.
Okay.
Judge, we're going to do our best. No promises, but we're going to absolutely leave here and immediately go do what we need to do. And I'd ask the court to give us till 12:30.
Any objection to that from the Commonwealth? Let's bring back in the jury, please.
Okay, that was pretty quick. The defense only has 3 witnesses. And remember, they brought that one guy in, Jet something? They had him picked up and everything. I think he was a prosecution witness. And when he asked the attorneys, do you want to waive the call after the jury comes in? I don't know if I've ever heard them say that before. Does anybody know what that means?
At this time, with the record reflect all 15 jurors have returned to the courtroom. Everyone may be seated. Counsel waive the call.
See?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Commonwealth has closed their side of the case. It's now time for the defendant to put on their portion. However, it's no one's fault. A lot of times we don't know what time one side is going to get finished. So the defense has some witnesses that are en route here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and give you all a early lunch break today, give you almost 2 hours here. So we can get everybody here. Our plan is, I don't know whether our plan will work or not, but our plan is to get on all the proof today. And tomorrow morning we have the closing arguments and get the instructions from the court. That's what we're hoping to get done here. So we'll just see how the rest of the day goes. So you'll be back at 12:30. I know you're tired of hearing these admonitions, so let me do it again. I'm sure you've got them memorized by this point, but do not discuss this case among yourselves. Do not let anybody discuss this case with you. If anybody attempts to discuss this case with you, I need for you to immediately report that to me. You're not to finally make up your mind about the case. All the proof has been presented, instructions provided to you, you've gone to the jury room to deliberate. As I mentioned before, no one wants to do any type of research or watch the news or try to learn anything about the case outside this courtroom, because everything has to be based upon what we do in the courtroom.
I do not have that memorized.
Get 2-hour lunch today, so we'll see you back at 12:30.
He's always wiping his chin on his collar. Like, why?
Court's in recess until 12:30.
Oh, wow. That defense table's a mess. Wow. Okay. Let's zoom through this. Okay. I don't know what's happening. All right. Oh, look, there's our favorite little bailiff. Look at him. He's smiling-ish. Looks like he's counting jurors again.
At this time, let the record reflect all 15 jurors have returned to the courtroom. Everyone may be seated. Counsel waive the call. We do. You may.
That's what I was wondering, Michael.
Just from a timing standpoint, just wanted to let you know what our plan was. Given the, here's the plan first, then I'll backtrack on it. So the plan is we're going to call Dr. Reich. He's obviously on the screen right now. And then we're going to ask for the court to release the jurors, and we come back tomorrow morning at 8:30. We're going to have 2 witnesses in the morning. And at that
Steve's
point in time,
mom
we'll be prepared to rest.
and Steve.
And we will be prepared to go into closing arguments and have everything to the jury, hopefully before they break for lunch tomorrow.
No way we can get these other 2 people.
I wish we could. Here's the, this is me backtracking. The backtracking is this, Judge. You know as well as I do, they're not obligated to tell us who they're going to call. They didn't. There were certain witnesses that we absolutely thought they would call.
Well, no, there were some that were
Actually,
that weren't called.
quite frankly, there were, and I know Shane mentioned in the voir dire a bunch of witnesses that were not called. We anticipated them to be called, and we anticipated using rebuttal witnesses in relation to those particular witnesses that ended up not even being called. So we had 3 people lined up besides Dr. Reich for this afternoon, but given that they were rebuttal for witnesses that weren't even called, kind of threw our timing into a little bit of a tailspin. So
How long is it going to take to hear witnesses tomorrow?
it shouldn't take long.
It'll be brief.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long.
But we can't get them here today.
No,
That's the problem. One of them's in Ohio. Actually, both of them are in Ohio. We called them when we left here. We called and said, "Can you get here any sooner?" And they said, "Nope, we're at work, and we'll come down as soon as we can get there." Yeah, so I'm sorry.
I don't know who
And
those witnesses are, though.
Quite frankly, my preference, of course, is to always call a witness in person. And I'm a little uncomfortable even doing Dr. Reich. However, we're comfortable going forward just to give some flow for the afternoon to at least get one witness done and make us move forward.
Reside out of state.
They're well, I'll tell you this. I don't know if they reside out of state, but they're out of state when we called them.
And the defendant's not testifying.
We don't know that.
Well, if he's going to testify, we can get that off.
We don't have to tell you if he's testifying.
I'm
not.
I'm just really disappointed we can't get this done today because I if it goes very long tomorrow, I'm going to make us go into Monday because I'm not going to have this jury out all night on Friday night. I'm just
all right.
That's wild to say.
No,
I think we feel confident that it'll be to the jury by lunch, and they'll have quite literally the entire afternoon.
To have like that time limit on the defense, like
I understand. Judge.
Yeah. And Judge,
I don't like that.
We can't.
Let's move on, folks. Let's move on. Raise white noise. Take off the white noise.
I mean, it's been a whole 3 days at this point. Like, why rush
All right. Mr. Wolf, call your next witness.
the defense of all sides?
Mr. Lawson calls Dr. Carl Reich.
Is he appearing via Zoom today?
He is appearing by Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, if you would, please raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may lower your hand. Thank you.
Sorry, Dr. Carl Reich. I don't know if you're a Carl with a C or a K. I'm going to guess C.
Dr.
that's
Hold on 1 second. Let me see counsel at the bench. Apparently, we've got a technological issue. Again.
Oh, let me move this. Oh, no.
They're concerned that this is not playing into the record, so that's what we're checking on.
Okay.
Just to make sure it's part of the record. So that's what they just indicated. Brian from the one clerk's office is trying to make sure it's playing into the record.
Okay,
So
understood.
that's why I'm holding up.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, it looks like Zoe is awoken today. Sleeping in.
Right now, the clerk's office is checking to make sure this is playing into the system. So we want to make sure we have everything in the record. That's what the holdup is right now, okay?
Kelly, are you still around? Look who's going to be questioning. Even though, of course, it's going to be the blurry, choppy video. Okay. Well, I guess we can zoom through this. Let's do that. Let's do that, friends.
Sir, if you could say something to us here, we're going to see if the system moves. You got
to work in suburban Chicago.
Okay.
Tell us where you're living at today, how the weather's there.
Certainly. I happen to work in suburban Chicago in a suburb called Lombard. I live in a adjacent suburb called Villa Park. Today is pretty nice. Yesterday we had raining cats and dogs, and then in the afternoon it became sunny, and we're back to a little bit of sunny at the moment.
That's riveting. Thank you, Doctor.
Is that been helpful?
I think it was helpful, but it's still not working.
I like how they were focusing on like the empty witness chair. Like
No
he's just
problem.
invisible.
Let me know when you need additional sound from
So that's not working.
Zoom call.
We'll sure let you know. It's agreeable to everybody is recorded on Zoom and just make that part of the record also. Otherwise, you go through the system.
That's not and I may have a solution to their witness issue. If they're saying that I didn't call some witnesses they were anticipating calling, and they want to call them, I got them under subpoena and get them if they need somebody. No, they said it was for rebuttal. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to help here. I appreciate that.
Very short witness. Is this
I'm just trying to ensure that we're not continuing for another day to go tomorrow and talk about 410 statements that I'm this will begin with, because there's no purpose. When your order is very clear that we're not.
Let's finish this witness and
Yes,
we'll talk
sir.
about all that. Okay.
Oh, they are so whiny. The young swell.
Okay. What we're going to do to proceed, see the witness on the screen now. What we're going to do is record on Zoom and not through the system. So we'll have an extra DVD. It'll be separate, but it'll be just from Zoom.
Okay.
Randy, let me know when we're ready.
They're still working it out.
Swear or affirm
Here we go.
the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. Please answer the questions asked of you. Mr. Buckler, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Dr. Wright, can you hear me, sir? Dr. Wright, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, just let me know if you can't. Can you please state your full name for the record?
My last name is Reich, R-E-I-C-H. First name Carl, K-A-R-L. Middle initial
Okay,
A.
Arn. Okay.
Dr. Wright, what is your level of education?
Carl.
I have an undergraduate degree in chemistry from Cornell and a PhD in molecular biology from UCLA. My thesis work was completed at Harvard Medical School.
Hope you're doing great.
And have you had any additional education beyond that, Dr. Wright?
I have postdoctoral work at the Institut Pasteur in Paris for 2 years, and then I have a 2.5-year postdoctoral fellowship at Stanford, working for the chief of infectious diseases and that is my formal education.
Okay.
Thank you. I have your CV here. I have 9 pages. Does that sound correct?
Wow.
It does.
Have you participated in any academic publications?
I have. I've had the opportunity to submit research manuscripts on a variety of scientific fields, and they have been published in peer-reviewed journals. Most recently, my work has been in forensic DNA.
And how long have you been working in forensic DNA?
I forget what he's here to
Since
testify
the
for.
fall of 2002, so almost 25 years.
Could you describe briefly to the jury what forensic DNA entails?
Forensic DNA can be divided into 2 general categories. There's a forensic
Oh, he's here for the
biology,
hairs
which
that
used
weren't
to be
tested.
called forensic serology, which is the identification of body fluids, specifically
Hello,
blood,
Llama.
saliva,
Hello.
semen, and urine.
Welcome.
And then there is forensic DNA profiling, and that's obtaining genetic information that's used for identity.
And during the course of your career, Dr. Reich, have you testified previously at any court proceedings?
I have.
And specifically, have you testified as an expert witness?
I have.
And have you testified as an expert witness specifically as it relates to forensic DNA?
Absolutely. In fact, those are the only 2 topics on which I have been admitted as an expert in courts.
Do you know approximately how many times you testified as an expert witness on the topic of forensic DNA?
Between 190 and 200 times.
Jeez.
Judge, at this time, I'd like to move to introduce Dr. Reich as an expert witness on behalf of defendant Steve Lawson.
Any objection?
I feel like I've heard that name before, but
Dr.
like
Reich,
in another trial.
what is your understanding of the purpose of your involvement in this case?
My understanding was to provide support in understanding forensic DNA and in providing suggestions about how items of evidence might be examined, processed, and tested, and how the potential results of that analysis might be used.
And during your review of this case, what materials have you been able to observe?
I've been provided with a few laboratory reports and with a couple of notes and some images, specifically of some hairs.
Okay, and do you recall the
I don't think
reference
focusing on these
number
hairs
of
is a
the
good idea for the
hairs that
defense.
you're referring to?
I believe they would be 12.1.1 and maybe 12.2.1, something like that.
That's correct. And then do you recall where the hairs that you have been able to observe, where those came from?
So technically, all I was able to observe were the images that were provided to me. I've never seen the actual items themselves. I believe they were found in a vehicle, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
So when you say the vehicle, could you expound on that?
Don't really know the car, but they have that's the laboratory number that I was provided, and I'm not sure why those hairs were considered probative evidence, but there's no other reason to test them.
And is it your understanding, you testified previously, didn't you, Dr. Reich?
In this case, very briefly, yes.
Okay. And do you recall the nature of your testimony?
I do.
Okay. And as it relates to the hairs that you just discussed a moment ago that were found in the car, is it your understanding that those hairs have been subject to DNA profiling, as you put it?
I believe they have not been. I believe there was a motion to use them for DNA profiling, but in fact, no laboratory testing was performed.
And when I say DNA profiling, Dr. Reich, I know that you obviously have a much better understanding of what that is, but could you describe to the jury briefly what DNA profiling of hairs would do, or what the purpose of that type of testing would be?
The purpose of DNA profiling in general is to obtain genetic identification information. That is some kind of genetic data which could be used to try and identify the source of that biological material, in this case, the hairs. And so there's a series of laboratory steps that evidence would be processed through to develop a profile. And then that profile can be used several ways to try and identify whose DNA that might have been originally.
The attorney's
Could
shoes
you
are really like
testify
light
briefly
tan.
about what types of DNA
Kind of looks like he's not wearing
testing are
shoes.
available to someone with the expertise who can perform such testing?
Bare feet.
There are 3 different kinds of DNA profiling. There are, and one additional way of obtaining genetic genealogy information. The profiling can be what's called autosomal profiling. The slang would be CODIS profiling, the kind of profile that can be used to search DNA databases. It's the most widely used method. There is another kind of profiling which is looking at a male lineage. You can obtain less genetic information from that kind of profiling. It's called YSTR profiling. And then there is mitochondrial DNA analysis, which is another type of profile.
I don't care about the male one very often.
A little less information than the other two, and is a female lineage analysis. And then the last is forensic investigatory genomic genealogy, which is a mouthful, and that involves a different approach to trying to identify a lineage, a family that might be associated with the item.
Okay, so you testified about 3 methods of testing, and you said the first is something called CODIS profiling.
Correct.
And CODIS profiling, is that, did I hear you correctly, that is generally the most preferred or most utilized method for DNA profiling?
Absolutely the most used. It provides the most genetic identification information and is been the method of choice for law enforcement for over 20 years.
And little llama is awake.
Why is CODIS profiling the preferred choice over the other options that you described?
It's a good question. It's the preferred method because it provides the strongest statistical information about identity. Recall that DNA profiling only gives us information about whose DNA might have been on the item that was tested. And you can get the strongest inference, the strongest statistics by far from doing the CODIS autosomal profile.
And Dr. Wright, forgive me because I'm not quite sure. How does that work when you get a result from a CODIS profiling analysis? How do you then determine who the DNA belongs to? What resource do you use to make that determination?
There are 2 choices for you. So one, you have a suspect that you're interested in, and you would obtain that individual's profile separately, and then you would compare the profile from what's called the reference standard, a sample taken directly from that individual, and you would compare that profile to the DNA profile obtained from the unknown evidence. So that's a direct one-to-one comparison. Another way, much more widely used perhaps, is to take the profile from the unknown evidentiary item and use that to search a DNA database. That is a very large Excel spreadsheet, essentially, that contains the DNA profile of hundreds of thousands to millions of individuals, and you are then searching that database for a similar profile to the profile obtained from the unknown evidence.
That's a
And
wild
if you
spreadsheet.
find such a similar profile, that becomes an investigatory lead in your case.
And based on your experience, Dr. Reich, has the results of CODIS profiling, DNA analysis, been used in criminal investigations to solve cases?
Absolutely. There have been more than 500,000 uses of the National DNA Database since its inception, and that doesn't take into account the searches in state databases or in local databases. It is the standard method law enforcement uses all the time on profiles that are eligible.
Are there other methods of DNA profiling, given the fact that CODIS is the most preferred? Is there a reason that other methods are not?
I don't know why they're
as
not
preferred
showing the
as CODIS
screen.
profiling?
They do later. It's very annoying.
Not every sample provides a DNA profile
I'm annoyed with
that
court
is
today.
suitable for CODIS searching. And there are different samples for which it is unlikely that you would get an autosomal profile. And so from those kinds of samples, you're still interested in getting whatever genetic information you can. And so you would use one of the other methods because the preferred method is not available.
Oh, I do remember Shane
But in
has
this
a
case,
very
you recall
big
prior testimony
asshole
in the hearing that you
comment
participated in.
to this
The two
witness.
samples that we discussed earlier, 2 hairs found in the car, that they were candidates for CODIS profiling, weren't they?
That's how they were described.
With the surprise of no one, of course.
And I want to talk about that too, Dr. Reich. In your training and experience, when it comes to potential DNA profiling samples, such as 2 hairs that have been obtained as evidence, is it best practice to physically observe those samples before they're actually analyzed for DNA profiling?
I would say absolutely. The first effort from receiving an item of evidence is to examine it and document it up one side and down the other, because you don't know what's in that package till somebody looks at it and determines that the description is accurate or not, that the information you have about this item is really what the item is inside the bag. So the examination and analysis, there's no direct analysis of the item itself, is the first step, absolutely.
And once those samples have been initially examined, is it thereafter a good
Lovely
idea
Amos.
to continue
Good morning,
to open and
babe.
look at these samples
Well,
before they've
afternoon.
actually been analyzed?
At some point, you have to open the package if you're going to work on it, because you can't work on an item of evidence when it's inside the sealed bag. That's just simply not possible. So no matter what, you're going to have to get to the item, whatever it is, the swab, the hair, a stain on fabric, doesn't matter. You've got to get to the actual physical item. So that's first. Because you don't necessarily know what it is till you have seen it and imaged it and recorded that, that's still the first step in the process, at least it should be.
And let's say you're not going to work on it, you're just going to observe it. Is it a good idea to continue to observe the sample beyond the initial examination that's completed?
It sort of depends on what's been requested. On items which are in dispute as to whether or not you're going to go forward with them or not, or you're not sure what was in the package, sometimes you have to look at it, reseal it, report back to the court or the attorney and tell them what there really is before a decision is made to go forward or not. You don't want to open a package more often than you need to, but on items of evidence that are old, that maybe haven't been properly recorded initially, you still need to examine it, figure out what there is before a decision is necessarily made to go forward to processing.
You testified earlier, Dr. Reich, that I believe you said over 500,000 uses of CODIS profiling in the criminal justice system. Is that a correct statement?
That's the statistic that is provided on the website, and I'm sure that's an underestimate.
And to the best of your knowledge and belief, have there been any cases of significance or high-profile cases where CODIS profiling has solved the case?
Technically, the CODIS search doesn't solve a case. It identifies a potential suspect, and maybe that is sufficient to change a case. The solution that takes place by lawyers. The DNA profile identifies investigatory leads, some of which may fully explain a case. There's any number of cold cases for which a recent search of the database has identified a suspect long ago lost in the shuffle of the case. I have a number of those cases myself. To the defendant, every case is high profile.
And in your training and experience, if samples such as hair are collected in a missing persons case or a murder case, is it best practice to test those samples sooner rather than later?
It is best practice, if you are able to test them as soon as possible. Evidence doesn't improve with age. It's not expensive wine that needs to sit there and get better. Evidence, even under the best of circumstances, gets worse over time.
And in fact, these hairs which were collected in 2015, to the best of your understanding after reviewing the materials in this case, were those samples ever subject to any type of DNA profiling?
To my knowledge, they were not and have not been to date.
One moment, Your Honor. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any problems?
Prepare yourselves. I think this is, we get classic Shane.
Doctor, my name's Shane Young. I'm the common attorney of Hardin County, acting as special assistant to Attorney General. Good afternoon.
Happy member first
Good
three.
Okay, Doctor, first thing I want to ask you is how much have you been paid in this matter?
So far, I don't believe I've been paid anything, and neither have I invoiced for my time, so that's reasonable.
Okay, so are you going to invoice for your time?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, so what are you up to now?
I'm going to guess 1,500 to 2,000 maximum, something like that.
Okay, and what are you being paid per hour right now for testifying?
I believe it's $350 an hour.
Okay, we'll try to get you to an hour, okay? So,
as you wish, sir.
What a dick. Why would you even say that? Why would you
how
even
many
say
hairs
that?
were collected in this case?
How much you get paid an hour,
Well,
sir?
I'm aware of the two in the
You didn't earn
the
it, in my
initial
opinion.
consultation that I had, and I believe there was at least one, maybe a second other. One went to the FBI, I'm sure, and there was something done with that one, and there might have been another hair that was considered. There might be a whole number of other hairs that were collected, but those are the ones that I have some documentation on.
Did the defense counsel give you the entire file to review?
They did not.
Okay, so you don't have the entire file to review, correct?
That is correct.
And I think you said you're not even aware of the evidentiary value of these hairs, correct?
I wouldn't be. That's not my job. That's not what I'm told. I'm asked about the forensic DNA on an item of evidence. I'm not an investigator.
Okay, but you were aware you could have requested to look at anything, correct?
No, not really. I'm narrowly focused on the forensic DNA, and on forensic DNA discovery, I can certainly ask.
Okay.
What I get is something else again.
Okay, and could you give me the length of the two hairs in this case?
The length of the hairs under discussion were provided.
What were the length?
12 centimeters or longer.
I don't know how many inches that is.
That's the usual measurement, yes.
Okay. If I told you one was 11 7/8 inches and one was 7 1/4 inches.
I'm sure you're correct.
Okay, and the suspects that's been mentioned in this case is a Nick Houck, a Brooke Houck, a Stephen Lawson, and a Joseph Lawson. Did you look at their pictures?
I did not.
Okay, do you know the length of their hair?
I was told
this
that it
argument.
was shorter than the length of the hairs that were present.
Okay. So if an individual has admitted to being in a car and moving a car, and their hair was not in the car, would you argue with them that they were not in the car?
I wouldn't have that argument. The question is, what physical evidence are you
Hold on,
providing?
doctor.
I think there's an objection. You will come to the bench.
They didn't bring up the fingerprint and palm print in this trial, did they? In the car, the one that nobody knows who those belong to. I think those were only brought up in Brooks.
What's your objection?
The question doesn't ask anything about his expertise. The question is asking him to explore a hypothetical. If somebody said they weren't in the car, would you argue with them that they were in the car?
No, if her hair was not
Channels is
present in the car,
not
would you
good.
argue that they were in the car?
I think it's allowed. It'd be allowed.
Thank you.
He's allowed to ask that.
Okay, doctor, let's go back to the question. So if someone's hair wasn't in the car, okay?
I'm sorry. If someone's hair is not in the car
Let me
or
get back
is
to
in the
that.
car, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. If someone's hair is not in the car, okay?
Certainly.
And they testified or they stated that they were in the car. Would you argue with them that they weren't in the car?
It wouldn't be up to me to argue with them. My question is, what does the physical evidence
Yes.
say?
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I can do.
And not everybody, when they get in the car, leaves the hair in the car, correct?
That's probably true, although many people would leave hairs, we shed hairs all day long.
Okay. And, you know, have you reviewed pictures of Crystal Rogers' car?
I have not. I have not been provided with that material.
You don't know the cleanliness or what shape the car was in or anything, right?
I have none of that information.
Could you estimate
Fairly
how many
clean for
hairs
having
were
that
in
many
your car?
kids.
Considering my age, many.
Okay, and they could be from various people, correct?
They'll certainly be from me, and they'll be probably from anyone who's been in my car for some time, weeks to months.
Okay, your
Maybe longer.
family probably, right?
Whoever has been riding in the car or who
Right.
used the car.
Right, but not everybody will leave a hair in the car. You just said that a minute ago, correct?
I think that's probably true.
Okay, and just because somebody's hair in the car doesn't mean that they are associated with any type of crime. Is that correct?
Correct. The hair is just the hair, and the identity of that individual is, if you can determine it, is just the identity of that individual.
And would you expect to find the owner of the car's hair to be in there?
I would.
All right. And just because you find a hair and you subject it, you know, a hair has to have root on it to be subject to, they're calling it CODIS testing, but it's really referred to as DNA testing, correct?
That's not 100% correct. You are right that you have to develop a CODIS eligible profile from it. And you are correct that the root is the easiest way to do that, but it is not a formal or a laboratory requirement.
Right. And if somebody
right
is not in
drunk?
CODIS, which typically the way people get into CODIS is from a criminal record, correct?
That's by statute, as you are well aware, but yes, to be entered into the database, you have to meet the statutory requirement and the statistical requirement.
Okay. And again, you really don't know what evidentiary value this holds, correct?
I do not. Nobody does till you do the testing and try and determine whose DNA it might be. If we knew ahead of time, we wouldn't be doing the testing.
Correct. Correct. And this is just one small part of what a criminal investigation could be, correct?
It could be minor, it could be irrelevant, it could be major. You don't know till you tested it, get the data, and use
Right.
the data.
And the only
That
thing,
entire range is available.
I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And the only thing you looked at in this case is two hairs?
The only items I was consulted on was the DNA approach, the forensic DNA methods for hairs. That's
Okay.
correct.
On a 11 7/8 inch hair and a 7 1/4 inch hair, correct?
The length of the hairs came afterwards. My recollection is that it was
Let me
your
see.
office that initiated the effort to
That's probably like
analyze
7
them,
inches,
and
but you
then
can't
the
really
length
see.
of them came out.
Yes.
It's like your
Thank you
face.
very much, Doctor. I appreciate it.
It's probably like 7
Can
inches.
you redirect?
Very briefly, Judge.
My hair is just getting bigger and bigger as the day goes on. Like, I got that Hermione hair today.
Dr. Reich, you were given 4 names by the Commonwealth as suspects in this case, correct?
I didn't exactly. I was provided for names. I assume they were suspects in the prosecution's case.
And just because you're given 4 names as potential suspects, does that mean that the hairs that you test for DNA profiling are now necessarily exclusive of anybody else? It can only be those 4 people.
Certainly not.
In other words, it could be anybody.
Well, I don't know about anybody, but they do belong to somebody, and the reason you do testing is to find out whose biological material it might be. It doesn't have to be the original suspects in the case.
And I believe you testified earlier that
Hermione.
it was the Commonwealth that originally was asking to have these hairs analyzed. That was your understanding.
That's correct. That's what the motion I was provided stated.
But after that hearing was conducted, it's your understanding that as of today, hairs found in this car in 2015 have not been analyzed.
I have not been provided with any results of forensic analysis of those hairs.
And so if I told you there were 1,000 hairs collected in this case, would it matter if the first 2 weren't tested?
Not really. What matters is what you're going to test, what you learn from them, and how you can use that data. There's always more evidence in a case that isn't tested. If these were important, they should have been tested.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any recross?
Just one. All right, doctor. And just again, if somebody's admitted to being in the car and their hair is not in there, you wouldn't argue with them that they weren't in the car, right?
Shane.
You asked this question, I believe, in a different form before. That's outside of what I do. I don't argue cases.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense if somebody said they were in the car and then their hair, you're going to argue with them that
Objection, Your Honor.
they weren't in the car.
I'm not going to argue with them. I'm
Yes,
going to ask,
thank
what
you.
is the physical evidence? That's all I can do.
Anything else of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions from any jurors of this witness?
I can't wait till we don't have to
This
see
witness
Shane
be found
again.
excused.
On behalf of the defense, yes.
If you're found excused, you may go.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you.
subject to recall based on the witnesses.
Okay. You're subject to recall tomorrow based upon any witnesses that are called. So if you can maintain contact with your attorneys in case we need you to testify tomorrow, sir, okay?
No problem, Your Honor. Happy to do so.
I don't think the
Thank you.
defense should have focused necessarily on the 2 hairs, but
Do you have any questions?
I figured, well, I'll let you do what you do, Judge, and then I'll come on up. Yes, sir. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there, Judge.
oh, they're still going to do something for a while.
I think earlier today, right before we took up that witness, you indicated that was your last witness for today. Is that correct? No other witnesses available?
Yes, sir.
You think we have two witnesses tomorrow?
Kelly,
Yes. Okay.
what's going on with your dogs?
Is there going to be any rebuttal proof in this case? Okay, I didn't know in the first witness if there was any rebuttal proof.
Not right now.
Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do is let the jury go since there's nothing else for them to hear today. I think you all want to argue about some other stuff, and I'll be glad to listen to that when we get the jury out.
So they're going to have 2 people testify.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. At this point in time, that's our plan. What I don't like is the idea that we're being directed right now and asked by the prosecutors who didn't share with us anything, who we're calling. From a timing standpoint, that's our anticipation, and that's all I want to tell them.
Steve,
That's all.
Shane.
That's all I'm telling them.
We would be done at lunch yesterday, and they have nothing prepared.
If I come tomorrow with 5 witnesses, I don't want somebody saying you only told us 2, so you can only put on 2. That's not the plan, Judge. It is not. I promise you.
I understand. I think everybody's a little frustrated because everybody indicated that they were going to be finished today at noon, and I hope to finish the case.
Literally nobody said they'd be done at noon except for the state.
Witness available, we have plenty of time. That's my concern. I assume it's my colleagues. So I don't know who your witnesses are, nor am I asking for it, all right? But we've got 2 or 3 hours. We're all trying to get this wrapped up. I'm not offending. I'm not trying to get into your all's business. I'm not allowed to do that. But if it's possible to get another witness or witnesses in, we would like to have it done so that we have the best chance of getting this jury final decision, whatever that is, by Friday.
I would too.
My previous statement remains valid, which is we do not have any additional witnesses available this afternoon.
Okay, so we're not calling the defendant.
What's that?
You're not calling the defendant. He's available this afternoon.
I'm not telling you who I'm
But
calling.
he's available this afternoon.
Who gives a shit, Shane?
Let me get rid of the jury, because apparently I've got 2 witnesses that I need tomorrow. So I'm going to tell them to be back. What time do you want them back tomorrow? 8:30?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Such a whiner. Well, why are they going to tell me who they're putting on the stand?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Man.
there are at least 2 witnesses left that cannot
I'm
be
over him, in case you guys can't tell.
first thing in the morning.
Not a fan.
So I'm going to let you all go home and be back tomorrow at 8:30. I'm still hoping to finish tomorrow, but we'll see how everything plays
Between
out.
him and Brennan, like, what is the deal with these
Admonitions are still in place.
Commonwealth special prosecutors and just being the worst?
This case with you. If anybody attempts to discuss
Like,
this case, I need for you to immediately report that to me. You're not
Good
bound
day.
to make up your mind about the case.
We can sit together and make fun of him.
Instructions provided to you. You've gone to the jury room to consider what your fellow jurors have to say about the case.
Ask him how much he's being paid to be here today.
Everything has to be based upon what happens in the courtroom today.
If he gets extra money for being a special prosecutor.
See you all tomorrow morning at 8:30.
And a bonus, maybe if he secures some convictions. I don't know. I don't know. They are so rude. But that's what happens when the state is not confident in their case. What I usually find.
All 15, you may be seated. All 15 jurors have left the courtroom.
Dog.
Are there any motions or matters we need to address at this time?
Oh, no.
Judge, one man.
Let's see what they argue about today. Unless I'm going to go look at these puppies. Oh, those little puppies are so cute. Oh, that looks good. Sorry, people are posting food pictures and animal pictures in the Discord. Join if you haven't yet. I want to grab this.
Judge, there is one matter that I want to just make sure we're all on the same page on. It's pretty important.
Okay.
This court entered an order on October 9th of 2024 after fairly extensive conversations and dialogue and colloquy on the 410 issue, essentially being that the 410 and the evidence that envelopes that is protected and cannot be used by us unless the defendant so agrees to bring on that evidence. And it's laid out in your order that it is the interview starting on June 8th through November 23 through November 21st of 23. And so that evidence is not under your order permissible as evidence in this particular trial in any shape, form, are man. And so my concern, and I think my colleagues' concern is that we not either directly or indirectly bring into in any way, either through testimony, arguments in front of the jury, anything to do with the interviews and correspondence that occurred that come within these particular matters. That is the interviews of June 8th, June 14th, August 22nd, and November 21st. That would apply to both
Well, when you don't
counsel,
have a
myself,
diversity in
and
genes,
colleagues here.
Kelly.
My colleagues
Sorry.
over here, the attorneys representing Mr. Lawson, and any of their witnesses. So we've had at least a comment referencing the 20 hours of interviews that Mr. Lawson had. Those are protected for the most part, not 410. And so it leaves the jury, when you make those kinds of indirect remarks, question marks in their mind. We all know what they're talking about through either direct information and working that we've had in the case. So my concern is to make sure that we comply with that order of yours in every way. And you recall it, I'm sure.
That's
So,
part of it.
I'm not suggesting anybody's doing anything wrong, and I'm sure they won't. But it is already, in my opinion, just speaking personally, when it came out with the 20-hour reference, that it was referencing a substantial amount of the activity that is protected under your order.
You wish to respond?
I really don't have a response, Judge, because I'm not sure there's even a motion that I've heard. You've
Thank
written
you.
an order. You've written
thought the
many
same thing.
orders in this case, and we've complied with all of the orders.
Like, what are they even
So
talking
if
about?
I'm missing what Mr. Wasowski is saying, and there is a motion in here, I'll be glad to respond to it. We know what you wrote. We comply with your orders. It's that simple.
Well, I think what it was, and I'm not saying it's any evidence that's coming of it, but it was mentioned in opening. I know opening's not evidence.
That's
But
true.
I just wanted to avoid it in testimony.
As you know, we are not obligated to tell what our defense is, nor are we obligated to tell who we're calling in our
Why are you so
defense.
worried, Shane?
I understand the court's order, and I understand what it says. I understand there's also situations that may open a door. And if the door is opened, then we can deal with it at that time if they believe that it is still, quite frankly, an order that is directing us to stay away from certain things.
We'll just see how it progresses tomorrow.
That's my point. I'm not sure there's a
testifying.
motion.
I don't know at this point what the proof is going to be tomorrow. So
That's right. Yes, sir.
we'll be back at 8:30.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else we take up before we call it a day? All right. See everybody at 8:30.
Shane just wants to complain. I don't know what you're going to do. It's not fair.
It's fine. We just talked here on the record. As far as jury instructions are concerned, we're back on the record. I have received something from the Commonwealth. I have not received anything from the defense. And let me ask the Commonwealth. I've gone through the book. I can't find your. Did you get? Is this young on? Instructions, or did you get? Where did you get these instructions?
This is young on instructions.
Young on
There's
instructions,
There's
okay.
not a part B to the conspiracy stuff. You actually use the phone frame last night. This is young on instructions.
It's young on instructions. Okay. I was just wondering where you got that.
He's the worst.
So.
Does the court have any guidance on what you've located? Because
No, I'm literally struggling.
yeah, we've got just like you from Cooper, and it is just
Mine is lifted directly from the statute. So you
Yeah,
got-
I figured that's
it
what
follows
you did.
the statutory language completely, and I tried
Under
to.
conspiracy.
Yes, sir.
50460, that's what you
The
did.
sub-D, and then I tried to incorporate at least the facts that I thought, and then of course you have to show the overt act, which is
Ugh.
505 or whatever, and so I added that in as that second part of it.
She hasn't
Besides
said
the
much, but
80
I
in the plan,
find her
and
just
then
as whiny when
the
she does.
solicitation part, and have the actual overt acts there. So that's what that and is, and so you have two alternates in the and. So.
That's why I was wondering where you got it from, because I
No,
couldn't find it in a formula.
And there's not a single definition in that instruction. I have searched far and wide, and gatekeepers to see if there's, because you do not have to show facilitation or promoting or anything like that. So I look for those words. I can't find them in pictures. As far as those are concerned, as they relate to that statute, everything is ordinary language in that thing. It's crazy that you would draft a statute with those type of words, even solicitation in there, with that word in there, and have no definitions. But there's not a single one provided by the legislature as it relates to that statute.
When I look at the different things.
The phone book is, as far as I can tell, is solely related to the first part of the statute. That first section. It was not there. And I think the rarity, I've read the model penal code because we lived it from the model penal code. Ours is, and really the purpose is to punish the idea of the agreement and the plan, and then you have to have at least one other act, and that's what it is. And so I think it incorporates what the purpose of the statute is and what it's intended to do.
And that was my question. I was wondering if you got that from somewhere, so I didn't.
There's been a lot of searching.
I'm the same boat with you. I'm struggling, so that's why I was out. But you could provide a copy to them, if y'all can send me something. I've been working on it for 3 days and still haven't gotten it. Really? I just keep wanting circles.
We have a model.
It's the same model instruction that comes out of the book. It's the same.
It's not helpful.
It's not helpful. We'll put some time into it.
Well, appreciate it because it's a big issue for us. This case. All right, thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, well, that seems to be
Yeah,
it.
you can go off.
And then they just wait, where's there more? Hold on. Did they add the doctor's testimony to the end of this? Oh,
I'm
sorry.
good to proceed. All right, sir, please raise your right hand again. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Okay, yeah.
All I was able to observe were the images that were provided.
So we're not going to rewatch that guy again because it was not great. It was uneventful and okay. But I love how they added it to the end of this day. I don't know who does this work for both Wave 3 and WHAS 11. But if you don't know how to upload YouTube videos, please hire me. Okay. I know how to cut up videos and add them to YouTube because y'all need some help there. Okay. That would be great. So apparently we're done even earlier than I thought because I didn't realize that the end of that day is just a repeat when somebody finally figured it out. I don't know why they couldn't just show the TV like they did when there was other evidence that we watched. This case is such a mess. I feel like, so remember guys, this case came first and then came Brooks and Joseph. So this was their like warm up. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it is not doing anything. Now, yes, Stephen ran his mouth and got in trouble for running his mouth, got himself in trouble for running his mouth. We also know he's about to take the stand tomorrow, which is never a good idea, but I feel like he can't help but run his mouth all the time. So we'll see what he has to say tomorrow and whether or not we even find him believable, because every single person that has been brought on to talk about Steve, whether in this trial or in Brooks and Joseph's trials, like he is the biggest bullshitter ever. He lies. He's a liar who lies, including investigators are like, oh, he changed his story a whole bunch of times. And for me, when I know somebody is a liar who lies, I'm not going to believe anything they say, even if it fits my narrative on what happened, because that can be a little biased there, but I'm not going to trust anybody they say. This trial honestly is worse than I thought. It was based on the reporting, not meaning that like they didn't really have a lot and it's not being presented very well, but that's just, again, my opinion. I do not think they have conspiracy again. That's what my opinion was when I wrote about all the news coverage of it. The only reason they're going to get tampering is because he admitted being there. But again, when you think about that. We'll hear Steve in his own words tomorrow. And we've already heard his voice a few times. He sounds like a freaking idiot. All right. So you got freaking idiot Steve over here. Then you have his methed up son, Joseph, who doesn't know what's going on ever. And they don't leave any evidence in this car that they were in there. I don't know. It really bothers me. It really bothers me that there's not. But what we do know is in the car is her phone, which has a thumbprint that they can now identify. It is none of the Hawks family. It is none of Crystal Rogers' family. It is none of the Lawsons, as well as a palm print on the rearview mirror. Now, maybe these two hairs, in relation to that, testing the two hairs would make a lot of sense because we have somebody that was in this car driving the car, right? Because why else would you? A passenger is not going to get their palm print on the rear view mirror. Have you ever touched one as a passenger? I haven't. But I think his attorneys didn't really bring that up. They probably didn't even know about it because they obviously were very unprepared. They said as much at the very beginning and said they were going to try their best. And I do think they're trying their best. They are faced up against a mountain of discovery. Remember, 400,000 written documents and hundreds of hours of video and audio of interviews, jail calls, all that stuff. And again, just with this one too, I'm disappointed. I'm like, this is all you have? Because even the cell phone data with him being either on Bluegrass Parkway or Boston Road, think of how much they went into this with Brooks' trial. And right there is a big difference of money that I think maybe Steve trying to separate his trial, while generally makes sense, it may, even though they found Brooks and Joseph guilty, I think Steve would have been better off at least keeping his attached to the other two because they had the resources that his team just simply did not have as well of time. So, oh, you guys, I'm so glad this one's going to be over. It just annoys me so much. Oh, I need to paint my nails. I need to remember to do that tonight. I'm going to get off of here because I have a lot of things I need to take care of today. Also, I forgot to say at the beginning, but today is me and Elbow Feet's 13-year anniversary. That's right. We've been together for 13 years today. It's crazy. But I sent him a text and he just said happy anniversary back. But I left earlier to make sure I sent it first when I remembered. Oh, because that's how that works. Well, anyway, guys, thank you. Thank you. Yes, 13 years. It's a long time. Well, you guys, that's all I got for you today. I will be back tomorrow again, 10 a.m. We'll wrap up this whole trial. Defense will present their case, which is Steve's mom, and Steve takes a stand. I know you don't want to miss it because I did hear that some stuff happens between the two lawyers when Steve is on the stand. Then closing arguments, then the verdict. And then remember, Kentucky does that weird thing where then the jury is in charge of recommending sentencing. So they have a few witnesses for that. And then that's all she wrote. Oh, we will watch as well. Because remember, on August 6th, he was officially sentenced by the judge. I know there's like 2 people who did witness statements. So we'll be tacking that on at the end. So that's a good old roundup. Next week is Brooks and Joseph sentencing on the 21st. And that's supposed to be streamed. And if so, we will watch that together as well to really just be done with it. But you guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't yet, join our Discord. That's where everybody hangs out when we're not live. Until then, go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.